Just working with our company, you're going to get to work with a lot of bright individuals.
Everyone is open and ready to help you, and definitely big on advocating for making sure that you succeed and reach your potential.
Everyone's goal is the same, to make the best products that we can for our clients and make sure that it is everything and more that it could be.
What's kept me here? Our culture. We're genuinely a very great group of people. Everyone's just always willing to lend a hand.
When I have a suggestion or a concern and I voice it, leadership actually hears me.
As a consultancy, every person has a role and has something to bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there is just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
we are down to our final broadcast of 2023, and we have a special one for you tonight. Doubleheader action. We'll start off with the Cathedral and Chatard girls game, followed by the boys game coming up after this one. Our first game in the books, it'll be Cathedral at 5-8, and Bishop Chatard coming in at 9-4. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And by the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Watch the best Division III basketball on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat. Troy Daragowski, Coach Al Weems with you tonight. Great to have you with us. And boy, it's hard to believe, Al, we're down to our final game of 2023. And then you think about the girls' season, they've got about a month left, and then we start tournament time.
No question. When coaches look at the year, they know that as soon as January rolls around, they've got to be playing their best basketball to get ready for the state tourney.
Yeah, it seems like it goes faster every year, though. We get to January, and you're like, they've already, some teams have played 16 games. They're like, wow, that's happened fast.
You know, it's crazy. And as coaches, we'd like to try to balance it, but it just never seems to happen.
Yeah, it never works out quite right. We should have a good one here. I know you look at this Cathedral team at 5-8 coming in, but, Coach, they are loaded with some really, really very talented players.
Well, their schedule is just, I mean, it's, I like to call it silly because, you know, as an ex-coach, I wouldn't want to play the people they've been playing for sure. And so the records, you know, it's going to be misleading because of that. And they've been competitive in a lot of those games. I mean, you're talking about playing in Warren Central. You're talking about Center Grove, Ben Davis. I mean, top programs historically.
And they can be very athletic, too. I know I've had them a couple of times. Nothing this year yet, but we had them a couple of times last year. Saw plenty of Jada Wilson and Taylor Lewis. I know we'll talk about them in depth as we go here tonight, but they can really come after you.
Well, they're players, and you know they because of the schedule they play, and these kids all play high-level AAU as well.
Yeah.
So as a result, these are very competitive kids, and I'll tell you something else. These kids at Cathedral and these kids at Chatard, they know each other.
Oh, yeah.
They've been going at each other for years and years and years.
When you speak of Jada Wilson, the 5'7" junior, over 14 points per game, I'll have you talk about her a little bit. And then, of course, Taylor Lewis, what a year she is having, a 6'1" senior. I wish I had a few 6'1" seniors. 11.1 points, 11.1 rebounds per game. Just a really big force inside.
Yeah, my centers tended to be 5'9".
Yeah.
And so as a result, I don't know what it's like to coach a 6'1" kid.
Right.
No, Taylor Lewis is obviously outstanding. I mean, when you can put up 11 points and 11 rebounds in a game, then that makes you somebody who can be kind of dominant in the post area. Wilson is just an outstanding player. You know, she's averaging 14 points a game. She's hit, you know, about a three-pointer a game. Now, her percentage isn't great from there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because she's going to keep putting them up.
Yeah.
And she's going to hit a few because of it.
And you look at their numbers as a team, they really don't shoot very well. We're talking about 31% overall, 21% from three-point range, and even from the free throw line at 61%. They'll really have to shoot much better tonight.
Well, at some point in time, the ball's got to start going in.
Yeah.
Because the stronger the competition, it's going to be harder to score anyway.
Right.
So if you can't shoot it against stronger competition, you are really going to struggle, especially when it comes to tournament time. And their sectional is unbelievably loaded. So Cathedral is going to have to start shooting it better in order to compete in that sectional.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Trojans. They are 9-4. We'll see what's on the table for them tonight. Coming up in a moment right here on IndianaSRN.
To you. making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Back here at Bishop Chatard, as we mentioned before we went to the break, a Chatard team coach. They're 9-4 on the season, really playing good basketball right now.
They're playing really well. I watched them against Heritage Christian. I had that game, and they played really well that night. They're just a solid basketball team, and they have been for several years. Dan Wagner's done a fantastic job of putting them on the right track. And
you look at Olivia Burzai, really a very good player, and along with Anna Kasky, you talk about a two-headed monster right there. They play off of each other very well. You're talking about two double-figure scores and very experienced. I mean, Kasky I know is a junior and Burzai's a sophomore. But they've played a lot of games and a lot of minutes. Yeah, and as you said before, they're another team. A lot of girls are going to be playing that AAU circuit, and you'll see that in that experience here tonight. They're fresh. They played in that Twin Lakes Invitational, ended up beating Crown Point 44-42. They beat Twin Lakes in that contest. I believe that went to overtime before they lost to McCutcheon in their last game. Got some really good experience in that holiday tournament. That's a very difficult holiday tourney. And when you go up there and you're going to play 3 games in 2 days, that can take it out of you. And I'll tell you this, it gets you ready for a sectional tourney. That's the reason coaches do those. And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of players have not had that experience, and that gives you a really, really good opportunity right there. We'll come back. The tip-off lineups coming up in a moment right here on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
National anthem here at Bishop Chatard. It'll be Cathedral and Chatard. We want to go to our public address announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
Number 3, Tiana Guy. Number 4, Reagan Gilmore. Number 11, Abby Beasley. 13, Jada Wilson. And 32, Taylor Lewis. The head coach of the Irish is Lisa Finn. And now the starting lineup for your Bishop Chatard Trojans. Starting at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 2, Addie Duncan. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore, 25, Betsy Travisser. At forward, a 6'1" sophomore, number 10, Alex Kendall. At forward, a 5'11" sophomore, number 12, Olivia Burzai. And starting at center, a 6' junior, 44, Anna Kasky.
They're your starters, both for the Fighting Irish and the Trojans. Coach, what do you think keys to this one? Both teams have size. We talked about maybe the shooting woes a little bit. They'll have to figure that out here in this one this evening. But overall, what do you think about this one?
It's always going to come down to controlling turnovers, making sure that you protect the basketball, and then taking advantage of any easy shots that you might get. Both these teams will play good defense, and so as a result, converting on the easier shots is going to be important.
Of course, Bishop Chatard, the home team, doubleheader action here on IndianaSRN. This will be followed up by the boys' game, expecting a big crowd here tonight with both these teams doing battle this evening. And we mentioned Cathedral at 5-8. Chatard is at 9-4. Of course, you look at Taylor Lewis, big girl there in the middle.
Yeah, I'd like to have had a 6'1" kid like that. She's big and she moves well.
A foul immediately out of the gate, and we're going to go to the free throw line. Nice job there by Jada Wilson getting to the line quickly. And our first foul of the ball game against Bishop Chatard. Again, if you don't know the new rules, you get up to the 5, and then everything is 2 shots.
And that's every quarter.
Every quarter, that's right. Free throw number 1 is good, and we are underway in this one in the scoring department. Jada Wilson averaging 14.3 points per game.
You know, and she will do that. She's going to take it to the hoop all night.
Yeah.
And then she did a good job drawing the foul. And I think Alex Kendall actually got that foul.
So Alex Kendall picking up number 1, the 6'1" sophomore. And here's where Cathedral can really cause you some problems with that press.
Right.
So Bishop Chatard able to get it across the timeline.
Okay, so they're playing man, and you saw a high screen there that they didn't use.
You know, I don't know too much about the entire schedule when you look at Bishop Chatard this year. That shot's off the glass and good, and Anna Caskey averaging 11.5 per game.
And that's what she'll do. She'll convert every time she gets down low like that.
I was about ready to say for Bishop Chatard, do you think they've seen the kind of quickness you'll see tonight so far this year?
They have played some good competition as well. So, you know, I'm sure that Cathedral's going to be as fast as anybody they've played, but they have played some good competition.
Shot was missed by Tiana Guy. First shot they have missed tonight as we're tied at 2, and Bishop Chatard again back on the offensive side.
Notice how high they run their offense. It really makes the defense have to come out a little bit more and opens things up.
Shot missed there by Kendall. So we're almost 2 minutes into this opening quarter. You know, you see a lot of people starting to file in here. As that shot in the corner from 3 is good.
Nice shot.
That's going to be Gilmore on the 3, and we've got a timeout, or do we got a foul? Looks like we have a foul. It's going to be number 11 on the foul. That'll be Abby Beasley. So that'll be number 1. By the way, Gilmore averaging only 2.1 points per game, so she's already surpassed her average. That's always nice to get that early, right?
Absolutely. You know, you never know. That could be what sets her off to a big game tonight.
Yeah. And that's what you're hoping if you're Bishop Chatard, get a little extra scoring.
You know, as a coach, if you get a really good scoring game from somebody that normally doesn't, that just makes it more likely for you to win.
Yeah. Takes a lot of pressure off the other players as well.
Absolutely.
Shot missed there by Duncan. We'll head the other way, and we've got a traveling call. First turnover of the ball game.
You see right away that Cathedral's wanting to push the ball up whenever they can.
And they will put pressure on the basketball as well. You know, if you're not a team, too, that's used to handling that type of pressure, that can wreak some havoc on your offense, too.
Well, absolutely. I think, Cathedral would like to – they know they're not going to steal the basketball every time down.
Yeah.
However, if they speed Chatard up, it's going to create more turnovers.
So Bishop Chatard able to get it across the timelines. They'll set it up in the half court.
Yeah.
And we got a foul out front.
If that's on Kendall, that's number 2, I think.
They're going to say Tiana Guy will pick up the foul, so that will be her first.
Well, that's because Kendall's on Chatard's team.
But you never know, Coach. You know what? You know those officials. Sometimes they're pointing the wrong way.
They can be.
Tregesser with a basketball. Nice crossover. Shot with the left hand is no good. And it'll be Cathedral basketball. Fighting Irish running the floor.
Oh, nice pass.
Block shot underneath. And Bishop Chatard will get it back.
Caskey wasn't wanting to give that basketball up, was she?
No, not at all.
Nice rebound.
So now Bishop Chatard, they have not scored in quite some time as we're coming up on the 5-minute mark. They're neither one of these two teams a high-scoring affair either way, are they?
No, they're not. And part of it you'll see they'll be really patient if they don't get the break. And, of course, Cathedral wants to get the break if they can.
Kendall had missed that shot. Here come the Fighting Irish once again. Nice pass underneath.
Pass.
Layup good.
Great pass, great look.
Well, I can tell you who that was, Taylor Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis, I believe, leads them in assists.
Well, she's an 11.1-point scorer, 11.1 rebounds.
No, that's right. That's right.
And we got a foul the other way. That'll go against the Fighting Irish, though they thought they had position down low. They're going to get Wilson. That'll be her first. That's the third team foul, and we head to the free throw line here. Tregesser for the first time.
Well, I know that Cathedral would love to have Wilson in the game as long as she can be there.
Yeah, I would too.
She's one of those kids that the only reason you want her sitting next to you is because you want her sitting next to you. Not because there's any craziness.
Yes.
Foul trouble is not in the cards if you're the coach.
By the way, coming into the lineup will be Quinn Johnson. Both free throws missed. We mentioned this is only a 53% shooting team from the free throw line.
Yeah, and both teams, and Cathedral's a little better at 61, but neither team is an outstanding shooting free throw team.
Lewis missing that one, point-blank range, and Bishop Chatard back into the half court. Still, we're coming up on the halfway mark, and they have not scored in quite some time. The offensive rebound put back no by Caskey, and she'll go to the line.
She did a good job of getting some position there and reacting to the ball coming off. So
Taylor Lewis picks up the foul. That is going to be her first. And let's see if now Bishop Chatard can get a point on the board here at the 4:01 mark. There you go. Well, you know, we were mentioning a little bit ago, 53% free throw shooting for Chatard, only 61% for Cathedral from the free throw line.
Well, that was a good make by Caskey because she's hitting 38% for the year. So those are points that are real positive when she can hit.
Well, they're going to get the ball back. Johnson able to get the basketball there for Bishop Chatard. Trailing it by 4. We're past the halfway point in period number 1. Well, you look down low, and you got Caskey trying to post up, and that ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Trojans.
Putting enough pressure on Chatard that it's difficult for them to move the basketball the way they'd like to.
Boy, and even if you can just disrupt that offense just a little bit, that's why I love deflections.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take you out of your game, and then you become a little bit frustrated as that shot's going to be missed.
And if you get them stopped high, there's nice shot.
There you go.
Nice shot. But from a defensive standpoint, if you can stop them high, it makes it even more difficult for them to do anything offensively.
Addie Duncan, by the way, hit that 3. I believe it was Addie Duncan number 2, averaging 6.4 points per game. Cuts that deficit down to 1. Boy, you still see that crowd filing in there. It's going to be standing room only eventually. And we've got a jump ball call. Boy, anytime those posts, Coach, you get that ball, try to keep it up high, you bring it down, somebody's going to tie you up.
Yeah, you let the little one get their hands on it, and you become their size, basically.
That's right. Don't trust those little ones at all.
Good
double team, yeah.
Great double team. Good action on that.
Another jump ball. This time it'll go over to the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, if you're Cathedral, the last thing you want to do is give Caskey the ball at the post. I mean, because she's really hard to stop. So doubling real quick can take that away.
Caskey at 6 foot. Certainly a presence down in that low block. Gilmore hit a shot earlier. Here is a shot from the top of the key, missed from 3. As Wilson has just 1 point. And we got a foul here in the backcourt. They got Wilson, I believe, for, is that Guy?
I think it was Guy.
Okay, so Guy picked up number 2. She got 3 now? Oh, number 3, yeah. My producer said, gave me a number, and I wait a minute. Seems like it was awful quick.
Well, I'll tell you, that's not a foul that you should make from 84 feet away.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
It drives coaches crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what, already we're seeing Bishop Chatard struggling from the free throw line.
Well, 53% halfway through the year, that kind of tells you that's basically who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality.
Both are missed, and they're leaving a lot of points at the free throw line. By the way, Leah Brand is in the lineup, just a freshman for Cathedral, as we're under 2.5 minutes remaining here in a very low-scoring opening quarter.
Not a surprise. These two teams, I'm sure, know each other really well.
And then when you look at some of the numbers, again, from the shooting side of things, you can understand that numbers, or should say scoring, can be at a premium.
Absolutely.
Cathedral moving the basketball around the perimeter. Here's a left-handed 3 on the way. Rims in and out for Beasley. And Bishop Chatard trying to push the ball up the floor as well. Haven't heard a whole lot tonight from Burzai at all, have we?
No, we haven't.
There's a 3. It's up and good. That's going to be, I believe, Quinn Johnson.
And I think she is their leading three-point shooter, by the way.
Johnson averaging 6.5 per game, gets her first bucket of the night. Chatard takes the lead at 9-7. We just talked moments ago how they had not scored in a while, and here they come. The drive on the baseline by Wilson.
Wow.
A lot of contact there and able to get the rebound back. Ball tipped. Here's Wilson down the lane.
Oh, nice. It's good hustle on Wilson's part. And they really need her to kind of push some action a little bit.
Driving down and getting stuck down there on the baseline. Ball is loose. That was Quinn Johnson, and now we have another jump ball. Possession arrow should be Bishop Chatard, correct?
Yes. Yeah, and that was Wilson going on the floor after the ball. Good hustle.
Annie McAllister in now, number 33 for Bishop Chatard. Under a minute remaining in this opening quarter.
It's another 6-footer. I mean,
see, Coach, they just didn't give you enough back then, right?
No, I guess in Greenwood we just don't grow them that big.
You get back into coaching, get a couple of them, huh? I take it you don't want to go back into coaching.
No, I'm happy.
We got another
nice
jump ball.
Should be a jump ball. Yeah.
So this will go over to Cathedral. So I guess we got your statement there that you're not coming back. Is that a definite no?
That is if I were, my wife would be really surprised.
Coming up on 30. I'll keep trying, Coach. Nice tip and a steal. Addie Duncan able to come up with it. Duncan going coast to coast, gives it up. Baseline
nice.
Shot is going to be missed. Chatard able to get it back off the miss by McAllister.
Nice job.
That shot in the corner is way off the mark.
Wow.
Top of the key 3 is going to be missed. 5 seconds remaining. It goes out of bounds over to Cathedral.
Now, that was a lot of action for no points.
Yeah, a lot of work there. Duncan, the last one to miss the 3, so 2.6. You'll have to hurry right here. Past half court on the shot. A little bit off the mark. We will head to period number 2. At the end of 1, we're tied at 9.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Our mission is to restore respect to the game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and courts. Thanks to our officials, because without them, we don't play. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Coach, it looked like a little bit rough here in this opening quarter as we had to period number 2. Not a ton of scoring, as you see there at 9-9. So a few things to figure out here in period number 2.
Well, I think part of it is filling each other out, and part of it is they know each other pretty well. And it's really physical. And when you have a real physical game, sometimes things can get a little bit chaotic.
So it'll be Bishop Chatard basketball. Tergesser working it out front. Good look here at Duncan. McAllister back to Duncan, looking for a shot here. As again, both teams were cold for most of that opening period of play.
Cathedral's doing a nice job with their man, and really good job getting into help side. And, Wilson being in that help side then helped to deflect that basketball.
So turnover by Bishop Chatard. They'll stay in that zone.
Good job,
Wilson, on the drive, and she'll get fouled.
Should be out of bounds, I think, on that. I think they got her when she stepped through, and so as a result, no shot going up.
They're going to get Kendall, number 10. I believe that's number 2 on Kendall.
I think you're right. She may have got the first foul of the game, actually.
Caskey back in. Had a wave of points each way. One team getting points, and then they go cold. The other team gets points, and then they go cold.
And you'll notice, Chatard's doing a nice job of pressuring.
Turnaround jumper is good. That'll be Lewis.
She did a good job of getting her balance, squaring, and going straight up. Ball tends to go in better that way.
It does. Good look here at Addie Duncan. Back to a 2-point lead now for Cathedral. Tergesser driving with a left hand, no.
That was a good drive.
Whoa, that was an NBA little extra step there.
I think she did it very well.
I think the official probably looked at it. Did I just see that? And by that time, it was too late to blow the whistle.
That's one of those where when the coach who plays, the official comes by and says, hey, man, I missed it. And you can't be mad at him then.
Yeah. Coach, I just didn't believe it. Another jump ball. That's about 4 or 5 we've seen already here in the first half.
That's an indication of how scrappy the game is.
Yes. Coming into the lineup now for Bishop Chatard will be Naomi Moses. Tergesser will sit down. Good look at Lewis.
Okay, now Chatard's gone to a zone, and they've been trying to trap off of that zone.
Air ball shot there by Lewis. Want to remind you, unleash your power of passion. IndianaSRN, always a front row seat. You can contact us at sales@indianasrn.org to discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that aligns with your goals and maximizes your brand exposure. Ball blocked inside. Central Indiana's sports leader. Bucket good, and we got a foul call.
That was a really nice pass. Now, one of the things that's happening, if you watch, Chatard is so high that Cathedral is bringing their defense really high as well. So that middle is pretty open. But last time down, they didn't go out and guard the ball. They stayed in the middle. And that makes it a little bit more difficult for that middle to be driven on. So a nice adjustment there.
Caskey, another missed free throw. I'll start adding these up pretty soon, Coach. I like to wait a little bit. I don't want to be guilty of them saying it was my fault. Here's a three back the other way. And another miss, and the rebound pulled down by Burzai. She is, by the way, has not scored yet tonight.
And that's unusual because the games I've watched her over the years, she has no problem putting the ball in the hoop.
Bishop Chatard now trying to regain the lead here in the second quarter.
Nice job of taking away the cut then.
Drive down the lane and the missed shot there.
Good rebound.
Yeah, that, by the way, speaking of Burzai, that was her trying to get her first bucket.
Okay, so yeah, Chatard's in that zone. Now watch, if the ball goes down there, okay, they're not going to leave Wilson.
Yeah, they're going to make sure somebody's around her all the time. Is another missed shot, this time by Guy. And we'll stay right here.
If it's somebody other than Wilson up on top, my thought is they'll probably go down and try to trap that ball on the baseline when the ball goes down there.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're having a hard time recovering the shooters. You saw an open three-pointer, the nice cut by Wilson.
Yeah, great cut in Wilson. First 2 points of the second quarter. Cathedral now leads it by 2.
Nice help side by Cathedral here.
Off balance shot, no good there by Quinn Johnson. And the other way, running the floor is Wilson, gets an easy 2.
A really good outlet pass there. Good job of getting your head up so you can see the ball down court.
Duncan will slow it up as we come up on the halfway point. And
nice.
Wilson steps in the passing lane, gets the steal. Fighting Irish quickly back the other way. Layup is going to be missed. And then there's Wilson to put back, yes.
Wilson looks pretty good right now.
Timeout on the floor. Cathedral leads it now by 6.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Bishop Chatard, tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They offer traditional food like Grandma used to make. Do you remember your grandma making that kind of food?
Oh, it was great.
Oh, I know. Several menu items, and they come with a twist. The biscuits and gravy dish, the country ham dish, comes with creamy pimento cheese and jalapeno chili jam. Sounds like heartburn to me, Coach. Check us out Wednesday through Sunday, 317-760-1640. And you want to make a point and talk a little bit about the points you were going to make.
Yeah, real quick. Wilson did a great job of playing the passing lane on that deflection. But most importantly, she used the hand closest to the ball. That keeps her on balance so she doesn't get it. She's in good defensive position.
Another turnover there by Bishop Chatard. Boy, Cathedral can now open up a little breathing room right here. You got a 6-point lead. And you're holding so far Bishop Chatard to just 2 points in this second quarter.
There's a swing now. Yeah.
Lewis will take that back. Wilson, near side 3, no good. And we've got another tie-up, or do we have a foul?
There will be a foul.
Yeah. They will get Beasley on the foul. That'll be number 2 on Beasley. She has 2. Guy has 2.
You know what they don't understand is that if there are two kids on the ball, one of them's going to have an arm.
Yeah.
There's just not enough ball there for four hands.
Well, maybe we can get somebody to go down and tell them that. That'd be helpful here. One of these two teams.
Oh, nice back cut and a good pass.
Well, they brought those two posts up high, and by the time the defender's looking, it was a great pass, wasn't it?
Exactly. And that's exactly the way they like to run it high.
Yeah.
It brings those people out.
Opens up a little room on that baseline. Unfortunately, a deflection by the defense.
That's also a good pass to Caskey. Oh, good follow.
Be a foul from behind. Looks like they may get Taylor Lewis for her second. Mason's at the line. And now here is where it has been a struggle for Bishop Chatard. Now they get the first one.
And that was really good form. The shot looked like she should do it every time.
Exactly. Second free throw is good. There, see how easy that is. They had, by the way, missed 6 so far here in the first half.
And that's the difference in the game.
Yep.
Because I don't think Cathedral's been to the line 6 times.
No, they've been there twice. And they are 1 of 2. That zone has been pretty tough. Boy, nice deflection there by Mason.
I want to tell you, now that was a good cut, and the deflection saved a bucket.
It did.
Because that was a good look.
See, Coach, I told you I love deflections.
I
mentioned that in the first quarter. Do I get a brownie point for that one, or
2?
Thank you.
And on top of that, there are teams that actually track deflections.
They do, yeah.
Which is no fun, by the way, if you're a really bad basketball team.
You just don't. You just leave those off.
Those off.
Yeah. Good look at Wilson. I don't think Wilson has sat down yet.
And I wouldn't expect her to.
That 3 is short. Offensive rebound put back. Good by Lewis.
There's an example of Chatard rebounders too deep.
Yeah.
And as a result, ball goes over their head. Cathedral kid in place. Oh, nice drive.
The miss, put back good underneath. Nice play there by Caskey.
It was an outstanding shot because she had to come back over the top of her back to get the ball up on the board.
7 by Caskey here in the first half as we're coming up on 1:45. That 3 rims in and out. Now Bishop Chatard. Chance to cut that deficit even more, and the shot rolls off the front of the rim.
And Caskey again.
Boy, missed that one.
That was another good rebound, though, by Caskey.
Yeah. Well, neither team, I believe, is going to get to 25 in this first half.
Yeah, so. It'll require a couple of made shots.
And I think with the way Cathedral holding the basketball right here, they may be content to get 1.
Hey, listen, they're in the lead, right?
Yeah. In fact, at this stage, if they continue to play defense like this, they don't have to score again.
Did you see that double?
I did.
And if she were able to get the ball out of her hands quicker, there was an easy jump shot there.
Yep. Runner missed that time by Beasley, and now Bishop Chatard.
Oh, nice cut again.
A lot of contact underneath.
A lot of contact.
Caskey's wondering, what do I got to do to get to the line? Lob pass down low. The spin away from the double team. The kick out to Wilson for 3. Yes.
Nice shot.
9 for Wilson in this quarter alone.
Well, she started slow in the first quarter, and so she more than made up for it in the second.
You're not going to see a ton of turnovers so far in this first half.
Nice.
There's Caskey. This time the benefit of the bucket, and we'll go to the line.
Cathedral's going to have to figure out how to cover that middle a little bit better. Cuts are being taken very easily. Very easily.
If they got Lewis, that's going to be her 3rd. You see 23, Quinn Johnson coming back in for Bishop Chatard. That could be big right there. And Lewis picking up number 3, and here is Caskey at the line.
Oh, they had a substitute come in.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by Caskey there. You know, when you see that, you do wonder, why is she 38%?
Yeah.
Because that was a good-looking free throw.
A lot of times it might just be mental.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's always possible with that. You know, when you miss some shots, it can get in your head.
Yeah.
Young kids especially, it gets in their head.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in desperate need. What began as a single ministry for women has exploded into a multifaceted organization that will serve thousands of men, women, and children every year. If you would like to volunteer, give them a call at 317-686-6239. But every time it seems like Bishop Chatard is going to get out of this game, next thing you know, they just kind of find a way to get back in it.
And it's going to be that way the whole game with either team.
Yeah.
I mean, neither team is going to run away from the other.
So you're telling me no lead is going to be safe, right? No matter how you feel.
No, we're not going to have to go to the mercy rule.
Another turnover, nice steal, and contact again underneath. Ball goes out of bounds back over to Cathedral. Boy, you'd love if you're Chatard to take advantage of that, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, it is there is a real physical game going underneath. No question about it.
Cathedral at the buzzer is going to be off the mark. We had played 16 minutes, and so far, nothing really decided at this stage as you look at that halftime score, but not surprising, as we said at the beginning.
No, it's not surprising at all, and I think it's the way it's going to be the whole game.
You look at Jada Wilson, though, she had an excellent second quarter, as we mentioned. She finished with 9 in that quarter, and it really did help Cathedral get out to the 4-point lead.
No question about it. And at the other end of it, Anna Caskey did a great job in the second quarter as well. So between those two, they've kept their teams, I think, in the ball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You speak of Wilson, 9 in that second quarter, finished with 12 in the first half. And for Caskey, she finishes with 7 in the second quarter. She's in double figures with 10. So really it is what they've been doing inside.
Exactly.
We will take a timeout. The boys, by the way, they are warming up. They will have game number 2 after we are done with this girls' game. We'll have Cathedral, one of the top teams in the state of Indiana, and Bishop Chatard on their home floor for the boys' game right after this girls' contest. But we're at halftime. Cathedral on top, 22-18.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah,
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
(22-18) as you see both teams getting ready for the boys' game coming up right after we're done with this first game. We'll run down the scoring here in a couple of moments. You know, Coach, what has been kind of fun over the last few years is how the holiday tournament has really come back. It dropped off there for years. Nobody was participating. And now you've got tournaments all over the state, sometimes as many as 16 to 18 teams in one tournament.
Yeah, it's great. My last few years, we went over to Union City, which is an 18 tournament. We used it as a bonding thing. We were there for a couple nights. We played 3 ball games. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you know, kids look forward to that.
Yeah.
And then if you happen, and we were in that tournament, we always got to play another couple ranked teams, something like that, and it was good competition. And then when you get into some of these huge ones, it's like, I mean, that's what you kind of point to for the regular season.
Yeah.
It's just a fun atmosphere and just a fun way of doing things.
And it was nice that the IHSAA allowed you to play some extra games too, because at one time, you know, you're kind of in a rigid part of your schedule, saying you can only play this many, but they opened that up, and that kind of helped too.
Yeah, you know, of course, when I was in high school, I think we played 18 or something like that.
Okay.
And of course now, I know that we were able to manipulate our schedule enough that we could get in 23 games.
Okay.
All right. And so different schools do things in different ways, but we always wanted to play the maximum number of games that we could get, which would mean if you had a tournament, if it was a 4-team tournament, you're only going to get 2 games in.
Right.
An 8-team tournament, you were going to get 3 games in.
Yeah.
And the IHSAA didn't specify that you had to play one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that allowed you to get an extra game or so in.
Yeah, it's been fun watching all the teams around the state of Indiana over the last, 2 to 3 weeks. We've been having a lot of holiday tournaments. Of course, now that will end because, as we mentioned with the girls' season, a lot of conference games still to go, and they've got to prepare here pretty soon. And you mentioned it earlier, Coach, that you start getting into January, you want to be playing your best basketball because you aren't playing as many games now, and then you got to be ready for the beginning of February.
If you are at 6 or 7 games left in your season, that means you're probably only playing 1, maybe 1.5 a week.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it gives you plenty of practice time, but by that point in the year, you don't need 5 days worth of practice at 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to take care of your kids along those lines too. So you'd like to balance your schedule enough, but that's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
And as a result, you're absolutely right. What you don't want to do is go 10 days before the section without a game.
Yeah.
Then you're coming out rusty.
Yeah, and a lot of teams, if you haven't figured it out pretty much by middle of January, you might be in big trouble, Sue.
It's kind of like we said, at midway through the year, if you're a 53% shooting free throw team, that's probably who you are.
Yeah.
And if you're 4-14 midway through January, that's probably who you are.
Yeah, unless you played such a killer schedule that
exactly.
You know, a lot of teams play teams up, and they may not have a great record, but again, they played a really good schedule.
We our a couple years that we went to semi-state, we made it a point to play a really difficult schedule. So as a single-A school, you would look at a schedule rank that you would look at between 300 and 400, because that's single-A.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up playing a schedule rank somewhere in the 150 range. Okay. So that was between a 3A type of schedule, which meant we played a few 4A schools to go along with, you know, our 1A programs as well. So that really did. So we went in to semi-state, we might have 6 losses.
Yeah.
But they were to Center Grove, East Central, you know, schools like that. So our kids were prepared for the 1A state tournament.
Always kind of reminds me, if you don't play good teams, you might go into that tournament like, 18-2, let's say, but it's fool's gold because you didn't really play that many good teams, and then you wonder why you're out in the first round.
And I'm not debating class versus not.
Right.
But you saw that all the time before single class basketball.
Yeah.
You would have a lot of small schools go in at 18-2, 17-3, and go in and play large schools, and it was hard for them to win.
Yeah, certainly was. Quick scoring in the first half. We mentioned Jada Wilson with 12, Taylor Lewis with 6, but we do believe she has 3 fouls. She'll have to be careful in the second half, and then Reagan Gilmore hit that 3 in the first period, so they've only had 3 players score. Guys not scored. Beasley did not score. and we have not seen Catherine Klein play in the first half. On the other side, Burzai, no points, and yet you're only down by 4. You got to be encouraged by that.
If you're Chatard, you're thrilled.
Yeah.
Because Burzai is a really good player. And I've been saying that for 2 years now. And she's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
But she's a really good player. So you have to feel confident that if she gets on track, the possibility of winning becomes much more real.
By the way, 10 points by Caskey, 3 by Duncan, 3 by Johnson, and 2 points by Mason. We mentioned the free throw. Bishop Chatard only 4 of 10 in the first half. That is even below their 53%. If my math is correct, that's 40. So that's one area, again, you're leaving points on the board right there. You got to get the free throws.
In a really tight ball game, the free throws will make the difference.
Yeah.
And the difference between 60, 65%, and 40% is huge.
We'll come back. Second half action on the way. Cathedral leads it by 4.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Tonight's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Any use of audio or video without the express written permission of IndianaSRN and the IHSAA is strictly prohibited. Want to remind you, you can unleash the power of passion on IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. You can contact us at sales@indianasrn.org and discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that aligns with your goals and maximizes your brand exposure. We are Central Indiana's sports leader. Coach, what do you think? Second half, what are you going to see here from both teams? What adjustments have to be made? Again, Trojans keep coming back. Right when you think maybe Cathedral's going to pull away, Trojans are right there.
Chatard's done a good job in their zone for the most part, and so that's made it a little bit more difficult for Cathedral to score. Other end of it, Chatard's done a great job offensively of pulling Cathedral away from the basket and had the open in the middle. They just have to start converting.
It will be Bishop Chatard basketball to begin this third quarter. Quinn Johnson, by the way, gets the start here in the third.
See now how that's opened up down low?
Nice spin to the basket and the miss. Putback is missed as well. Bishop Chatard getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and we'll go back to the free throw line, and that'll be Alex Kendall there for 2.
I thought maybe that was on the floor. Okay.
See, now Taylor Lewis picked up the foul right there, so we're still kind of waiting to see if now the scoreboard's not showing us whether it's 3 or 4, but she's going to stay in the ball game for the moment. Here she comes out. I think it's number 4.
Yeah. Well, that hurts because she's been a solid defender down there for them.
So a big, big turning point right here as Lewis is out. But another missed free throw. That's 4 of 12, but an offensive rebound put back good inside by Caskey.
As a coach, that drives you crazy. I mean, Cathedral just absolutely missed a block out there.
And it doesn't help when you have Lewis 6'1" on your bench.
It does not.
Caskey now with 12, and we go back to the free throw line. Chance to pull to within 1. By the way, Coach, I don't think that hit anything there.
Well, well, she had 2 good ones in the first half there.
So we'll stay at 2. Cathedral basketball, again playing without Taylor Lewis, who just picked up her 4th.
So they really don't want Jada Wilson to penetrate with the dribble.
Yeah, they know exactly where she is on the floor at all times.
And you see a second player in that zone shading where she goes.
That is Beasley on the left. Now she'll come out and they'll have a two-person front here against that 2-3 zone, which generally is a little bit odd. Don't you generally have a one front, right?
Typically, yes, you do. Now, I think with them playing as high as they are, maybe opening things up a little bit for them.
This is Wilson. Left-hand wild shot, no, and it goes out of bounds. Maybe not the best shot for her right there.
Well, she was off balance as well and just kind of was out of control. But that's what happens sometimes when you're not able to do some of the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay? So you'll force something, and that was definitely a force. There was no place for her to go there.
Maybe if she stayed up a little higher right there, maybe a mid-range jumper from the free throw line area.
It's hard for players to recognize that, but that was there.
Yeah. So Bishop Chatard, chance to tie or take the lead. The double team down in the corner, that's an area you don't want to be. Tregesser got trapped, and you got to call the timeout.
Yeah. You either call the timeout or you lose the basketball.
So they have to use a timeout right there. We'll see how that plays later in the game. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. When you need a safe, dependable workforce for a new build, an upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermaker Union Local 374 to do your job right the first time. You know, a lot of times I heard coaches talk about this the other day. And it was one of the college games where somebody called a quick timeout and how they didn't really like that sometimes. And why not give up the possession because you might need that timeout? What's your preference?
I agree 100%. There are times, especially in the first half, where nice three-point attempt, where you look at it and you say, yeah, you know what? I always wanted 3 if I could have them in the fourth quarter in a tight ball game.
Yeah.
Okay? So wasting one on a possession, and to boot, sometimes you call a timeout on a potential jump ball when it's already going to be your possession.
That's right. Yeah, that's tough too. So back into the zone once again. It's been tough here tonight shooting-wise for both these teams.
Well, there's certainly a nice anticipation there.
Back the other way on the drive with the left hand. Good, and we've tied this contest.
That was a good defensive play and a good finish.
Boy, Bishop Chatard, again, that defense has played so well. By the way, give that basket to Burzai. That's her first 2 points, but it took her into the third quarter to do so.
And the fact that Cathedral was in the lead up until then Cathedral was in the lead is pretty good.
Boy, Lisa Finn right there on the sidelines trying to direct that offense. Here's a drive on the baseline.
Nice block.
How about that?
I think she got some of that.
And I believe that's Burzai back the other way. Little
nice.
European step, I guess, and then the rebound put back good. Wow.
Cathedral is really struggling with Caskey right now. She's really doing a good job of using her body to get position.
Yeah, really is. Looks like that foul was either on Wilson, number 13, or number 14 in the lineup as well for the Fighting Irish. But take a look right there at Caskey.
She struggled here tonight. Let's see what happens here.
Shot an air ball in the last one, but not this time.
So she's 3 out of her last 4.
Yeah, that's not bad. You'll take 75%,
I think
right?
Anybody would take that.
So now all of a sudden, Bishop Chatard with Cathedral not scoring yet in this third quarter. And we're talking about a 3-minute drought here.
Well, their zone is doing a really good job of taking away easy things at this point in time. Now, again, hard to recover to that baseline.
Offensive rebound there by Beasley, and then Beasley misses, and they stay over. Here come the Trojans once again. Nice spin. Burzai missed it short, but a great move. We have another jump ball here.
That was really a nice job on that. Lots of hustle and then lots of sportsmanship helping each other out.
Gilmore coming back in, had a 3 early. So now Bishop Chatard, you know what? You look at that 2-3 zone, though, a lot of times they've disguised it pretty well. It looks like they're playing a little more than a 2-3.
What they're really doing is, again, they're taking – you always want to take something away, and right now they're trying to take Wilson away.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're putting pressure on other people to make things happen. Looks like a foul away from the ball.
They're going to get Burzai on that foul. That's her first. Looks like she may have chucked that cutter down on the baseline.
Yeah, 10 years ago we could do it.
Yeah.
They don't like that anymore.
I tell you what, we've just softened this game too much, Coach. Every once in a while I need a good hockey chuck now and then.
When I say that, I start thinking about my age. Okay, now that's a first time. That's the first time Chatard didn't really move in the zone. As a result, a good pass, easy shot, get fouled.
Caskey picked up the foul. That's just her first. Here is Guy at the line. Guy averaging 8.2 points per game has not scored yet tonight. And
nice
there
shot.
You go. Now, they've only been to the free throw line. Speaking of Cathedral, they've only been there 3 times. They're now 2 of 3. This will be number 4.
And I think they're hitting over 60%, if I remember correctly.
61, yep.
Yep. So, I mean, they have a built-in advantage at the free throw line if the two teams shoot their season averages.
So back to a 2-point lead for Bishop Chatard. Second one is missed. So now Trojans, boy, they really are pushing the ball up the floor. The miss on the runner, but another offensive rebound. Put back good the second time.
Wow.
I tell you what, they just cannot stop Caskey.
She is doing what she wants underneath right now. And she, I don't know how many offensive rebounds she's got tonight, but it's got to be 4 or 5.
Yeah. And 17 points now, leading all scores.
She's had a really nice night.
She has had a heck of a second and third quarters. The lead at 4. Ball loose in the lane, and boy, you can see Lisa Finn, her reaction down there on the sideline, just some frustration with her ball club right now.
It's just, things just are not smooth with them right now. This quarter they haven't played nearly as well as they did in the first half.
And just a single point so far.
That typically can mean losing.
Yeah.
So they've got to figure out what's going on at the offensive end.
Well, I think what you said earlier is Burzai gets tied up right there. What you said a little bit ago about making sure Wilson's not going to hurt you. Mm-hmm. She had 12 at the half. Not a single point here in the third.
Well, and obviously she makes them go. And if you cut off the head, then it makes it more difficult. And that's what they've tried to do. Now, I don't think it's necessarily going to happen the rest of the half.
Right.
But up until right now, they've done a great job on her.
Timeout on the floor, 4-point lead.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. Their mission is building better futures one story at a time. They acknowledge the whole person and the individual story, and they take great care to create an environment that is inclusive as well as innovative and meaningful as it is productive. Morales Group, another fine sponsor here on IndianaSRN. Well, right now, the Fighting Irish are having a difficult time getting points on the board. They got to generate some offense here pretty soon.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do here. They're still, as you'll know, they're still shading Wilson a great deal. Okay, there's a first 3-pointer I've seen them get off really this half.
Beasley, the left-hander, she was on the left side, went to the right side, but their struggles continue. But again, good job getting the ball to the other side. She was wide open.
Exactly. And if you're Chatard, I mean, do you want Wilson penetrating on you, or you want to give up the open three-pointer?
I think I'll take the open three.
Exactly.
Until they start burying them at some point. Inside now to Caskey once again. And they get another offensive board. Here's a three on the way, missed. Boy, and Bishop Chatard just hustling after the basketball.
They really are. Doing a good job of getting to balls that Cathedral has the same opportunity to get to, but Chatard's beating him to it.
Mason out front. You got to love the hustle of Quinn Johnson as well, who got the start in the second half for Bishop Chatard.
Oh, man.
Caskey missed it.
Great rebound.
They're getting to every loose ball right now, and another foul will put Bishop Chatard at the line.
I can pretty well assure you, Lisa Finn, when she looks at the tape on this or the video on this, she is not going to be real happy in this third quarter.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're not getting to loose balls.
Boy, can you imagine at this stage if Bishop Chatard was hitting their free throws?
Oh, yeah.
They'd be up by more than 4, guarantee you that.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
Well, I mean, and you look at it, and you're allowing Caskey, if you're Cathedral, you're allowing Caskey to absolutely control underneath.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely control it. And that's going to get you beat every time out.
Yeah, certainly will. And she almost had another one there, too.
I mean, she's just beating him to rebounds.
Second one missed. Here's Wilson, and then she got tackled from behind. Might be a first down and 10 right there, but a great tackle by Caskey.
Wilson did a great job of getting in Caskey's way. Now, here's the problem, is that some officials would look at that and say, she went into them.
Yes.
And they may call it on the offensive player. In this case, they didn't. It was a great move by Wilson there. Oh,
Fighting
nice
Irish
pass.
attacking down low, but there was contact right there. Nothing. I thought maybe they're going to get Burzai on the foul.
Man.
You wanted some old-fashioned basketball, right, Coach?
Right, there it is. Oh, man. There was a lot of contact there.
I guess what we're saying, you're going to earn it, right?
I guess they've said that.
By the way, Cathedral still just one free throw here in the quarter. Here's Wilson. Contact again, nothing, but they got the ball back. This time we'll go to the line.
Now, Wilson probably got fouled up on top. I'm not sure Caskey didn't have her hand straight up in the air.
Yeah.
And so they got Caskey on that foul, though, underneath. That may have been as a result of the last one when they didn't call it.
You just never know, right?
No, you don't. You don't. But, these guys have got such a tough job.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really difficult. And, you're talking about some good-sized bodies out there.
Yeah.
And competitive kids. I mean, that's the thing. You can't call everything. Otherwise, the game goes on for a week.
Yeah. And then we all leave.
Yeah.
By the way, Gilmore missed the first one, back in for number 2. They are still stuck now as they get the offensive board. They're still stuck on one free throw. They're 1 of 4 from the line, speaking of Cathedral, in this quarter, but they have not scored a field goal yet.
That's a great way to put yourself in a tough spot.
Wilson for 3, and they finally get one.
Well, that was a good job of a teammate screening so Wilson could get that shot off.
And they'll have to do more of that. And now we got a takeaway by Wilson, and I believe we got a foul on the Trojans. So talk about a turn of events now all of a sudden.
24?
Yeah. Yep, they got Trageser on the foul, her first.
Yeah. So she, I think she probably got a little frustrated there when Wilson took the ball away.
The more you look at this, Coach, in your Cathedral, you scored 1 point up until now here recently, and yet all of a sudden now you're back to within 1. That just shows you again, this has been a weird game sometimes tonight.
If she hits this one, they're tied. And you're right. I mean, if you're Cathedral, you're looking at saying, my goodness.
Yeah.
we're really happy with where we're at based on the way we've played this quarter.
And then if you're Bishop Chatard, you could have extended this lead and you didn't do it.
You're going to regret missing some free throws and not converting layups.
Timeout on the floor. Now we're tied at 28.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Well, you're going to look at that score and think maybe we're getting close to halftime, but that's not the case. We're coming to the end of the third. But how about Cathedral? Again, we mentioned they were held to a single free throw, and all of a sudden now they've come back to tie it thanks to Jada Wilson with 5 points here in the quarter.
Yeah, if you're Cathedral, you got to be happy with where you're at right now. Okay, a little bit of a zone press.
See how Bishop Chatard handles this. They broke that pretty easily.
A pretty easy diagonal pass there.
Good look here at Tregesser looking down low.
I believe Cathedral has gone to a zone there.
Burzai missed that one as she turned into the defender, and probably not a really good look.
No.
And as you said, too, I think you're right. I think Cathedral did go zone.
Mm-hmm. And again, they're knowing where Wilson's at. Well, nice. That was a really nice shot there. So that puts Cathedral back up, doesn't it?
Leads it by 2.
Okay, they came out and pressed one time.
I was going to say, last bucket was made by Guy. Hard to see those dark numbers on the green uniforms. Boy, but Cathedral's got to feel really good at this stage. Coming up on 30, there's another turnover. Really only 3 actual turnovers by Chatard. That's 5 now by Cathedral, not counting jump ball lost possessions. We had a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, keep that straight, right?
Burzai, the drive between 2 defenders, no.
And Chatard again, got to loose ball.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of those 50-50 balls here tonight. Shot in the corner from 3, no good. 2 seconds to go.
Oh, my goodness, great hustle.
Yeah, but time runs out. Let's wait and see here. I know the underneath official is saying, hold on just a second.
What's he calling?
I think he's going to he may put time on the clock here. 0.7.
Okay. So whose ball is it?
And it's going to be Chatard. Better get a quick catch and release on this one. It's about all you can do. The lob inside, and that's going to do it. We will head to the 4th. Cathedral leads this one by 2.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. Piper Warehouse is a Group of logistics professionals dedicated and working together to provide our clients with a complete logistics package. Our goal is to continue to ensure that we are in a position to exceed your business goals and objectives. Roll with us. Give them a call at 317-396-1023. Wilson 17, Caskey 17. Interesting third. We saw ebbs and flows, but now here we go, Coach, last 8 minutes.
Hey, it's going to be a good fourth quarter, I believe. And the two best players, one for each team, have been the dominant players.
Back in the lineup, though, was Lewis.
I see that's
heck of a drive and a miss there by Wilson. And then able to take it away and getting the left-hand shot good is Lewis.
There's a couple of rebounds that Cathedral got that they didn't get in the third quarter.
Lewis, by the way, we mentioned out with those 4 fouls paying immediate dividends. We have a kick ball here.
Yeah, they need her on the floor as well.
Bishop Chatard will have Caskey back in. She'll play with 3. This will be an interesting chess match here between the bigs down low. I guess in one way, if I'm Bishop Chatard, I try to go at Lewis and get her out of the game.
Absolutely.
Well, you mentioned Bishop Chatard having to go up against that zone a little bit ago, and looks like Cathedral back in the man.
Yeah, they're definitely in man right now. So I mean, you know, with your Cathedral,
tough miss. Boy, 2 misses in a row. One by Burzai, the other one by Caskey.
Wilson tried to pick up another easy foul there too, by moving into defensive players' way.
Hey, if it works once, why not get it again, right?
Hey, why not?
Out on the high post, Lewis. Wilson was quiet in the third until she got 5 straight.
That Chatard zone has really caused Cathedral to really have to work for whatever points they've gotten.
Turnover there by Cathedral. That's number 6. Good look there. Johnson in the kick out. Burzai for 3. Missed it. Rebound. Caskey put back short. Coach.
That's a great offensive rebound, and she just didn't convert. She struggled a little bit in the third quarter converting a couple of those. She's played a lot of minutes. She's had to play a lot of hard minutes.
Boy, you love to finish there, though, huh?
You would. Sometimes legs get kind of heavy on you.
Yep. Fourth quarter like this, coming off the Christmas break as well.
Yep.
Big rivalry game that you have here tonight. Here is Beasley for 3, and that's a big bucket right there for the Fighting Irish.
You kind of want to know how much eggnog your players drank. It helps you determine how much to run.
That's right. Yeah, we'll get all that off you here in the next practice. Boy, nowhere to go there for the Trojans. That defense has been very good now for the Fighting Irish.
The Cathedral is really athletic, and they do a good job of using their athleticism.
Boy, wild shot thrown up there somehow. Chatard gets it back.
I'm not sure how she got it off.
Short on the shot is Johnson. It goes out of bounds back over to the Fighting Irish.
It's going to be really interesting to see which team actually is in a little better shape right now.
Yeah.
I know they both played in holiday tourneys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So they probably did practice quite a bit over Christmas. So it may not have hurt them.
Well, now if you're Cathedral here, you can kind of slow things down right here, pull them out of that zone.
Well, look what they're doing.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly what I would want to do if I were them. I feel good if they have to come out and guard me, right?
Yeah. Boy, really able to spread the floor now. Now you got to go man.
You do.
So there's a lot of time left in this one. Cathedral may be tough to turn over here in this man-to-man.
Well, you know, if you don't come out and get them pretty quick, sooner or later, that 4 minutes becomes 3.
Yep.
A nice back cut.
Contact underneath there for Wilson. Rebounded by Caskey. Here come the Trojans again. Nice drive, layup good by Quinn Johnson.
And that also will drive a coach crazy because you had a defender that could have stepped right over them.
Yep.
I mean, that just – and you work on that daily in practice.
Apparently didn't get the memo on that one, though, this week. So, by the way, Quinn Johnson, 5 points. Got the start, as we mentioned, here in the second half. Under 4 now. Well, that 5-point lead looks really big right now. Nice drive inside, but the missed shot by Beasley. They get it back, put back no by Lewis, and then they clean the boards again.
Really nice finish there. Didn't look like she came down with it at all. Grabbed it and put it right back up.
Lewis now with 10, and we've got a whistle and a foul.
It's going to be on Cathedral, I believe.
Official on the near side calling that one against Jada Wilson. I believe that's number 2 on her.
Yeah, she shouldn't be in any trouble, but I think she went through a back screen.
Mara McCormick, just a freshman, checking in.
Good crowd over there, isn't there?
It is. Yeah, there's maybe a couple of seats in there, but not much. Boys game will come up in a few moments after the conclusion of this one. Another nice drive by Johnson, and she'll go to the line.
I'm not sure where that contact came from. It looked like the offensive player may have used that off arm to kind of ward it off.
Boy, she is actually the one you look at tonight. Quinn Johnson able to get a strong drive, though.
She's difficult to guard because she uses her body very well.
And by the way, we're back to the free throw line. Now, here we go again. You're 3:21 to go, down by 7. We know they missed a ton of free throws. This is big.
Well, I think they're hitting 53% or something for the year. And in tight ball games, it's just going to hurt you. Yeah.
10. They've missed 10 tonight.
That's hurt you.
They will not let Gilmore come in, and now they'll let Gilmore come in.
See, I heard somebody say that was on the floor, and I would agree based on where he blew his whistle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this might be workout best for Cathedral, if you look at it, right?
Well, if you're Chatard, you're hoping that sooner or later they start going in.
So now that's 11 misses. Pretty soon you just do the old hack a shack and just foul them all, right?
Wow. I mean, yeah, we don't want them to do that. Oh, man. So that was 1 for 2. So that at least gets them within a couple of possessions.
Wait, but I tell you what, if I am Cathedral here, I'm going to run so much time here if I can. That's Wilson, able to dribble away from the double team. You see right now Chatard getting more aggressive out front.
They've got to. I mean, and then she called a timeout. They've probably got something set up from a offensive standpoint to handle that situation.
That's right. And here's, Coach, I got to ask you, though, a lot of times now I watch these games and you'll see a player get trapped or double teamed or she'll pick up her dribble. Nobody comes to the ball. Drives you nuts.
It does. It does. Well, we try to train our kids to let the double team happen.
Yes.
But move the ball before it gets to you.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to recognize it, right?
You have to recognize it's coming. And you have to know it's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, know the situation in the game.
Yeah.
Right now Chatard is down 6. They got 3 minutes left. They're not going to sit back in that zone like they have all night.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, tonight, want to remind you that if you want to be a part of IndianaSRN, you can unleash the power of passion. You can contact us if you'd like to discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that will align with your goals and maximize your brand exposure by contacting us at sales@IndianaSRN.org. We are Central Indiana's sports leader.
See, Chatard is matching up now, so they're leaving that zone now. They're going man.
And this could play right into the hands of Cathedral here late. I would imagine at some point Jada Wilson might be the go-to player. She has not scored in this quarter, but now with the basketball.
Mm-hmm. But notice, they're going to have to kick the ball to the opposite side because they're still going to shade Wilson.
Wilson on the drive, and we've got a hand check right there. Tragoser, I believe, is that the one going to pick up the foul?
Which foul is that? Is that number?
If that's that might be Eva DeSauer who has checked in. Is that number 24? I thought she said 25, but I think it's going to be Tragoser on the foul. That'll be number 2. 15-foot jumper on the way is missed, and it'll be rebounded there by Caskey.
And if you're Chatard, you're happy she put that shot up.
Yes. Drive baseline, missed.
Great job of blocking Caskey out that time.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen that happen all night.
That was Duncan on the missed shot, and we've got another foul. This will go against Mason.
And that's an example of what you were talking about. It's difficult for them to guard Wilson one-on-one out on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you come double team and she recognizes it, kicks it off, may have a good shot.
Absolutely.
6-point lead.
Ooh.
Oh, my. Wilson
There's
able to
another
keep
foul.
her balance up until she got shoved from behind by Duncan.
They should be getting the 5 any time now, I would think.
They're getting close. What are we now at 3?
That's 3. Okay. So, I mean, Chatard needs to have it at 4 anyway.
Yeah.
So that whenever they decide they have to foul.
The drive, the missed shot, as Guy can't get it to go. Might have been quick on the shot as we head the other way, and we got a foul on the floor, which is actually not bad this way either.
No. Because that probably is only, was that the 4th one on Cathedral maybe? 3rd one on Cathedral. So, and Cathedral, on the other hand, that one doesn't hurt them. Now, number 5, they really don't want to put Chatard to the line in this situation at all.
So, again, each team now with 3. Entry pass underneath, and we've got a jump ball. And the possession arrow stays here, so this will be big for Cathedral on the next jump ball.
Absolutely.
By the way, for Bishop Chatard, only 3 points, all scored by Quinn Johnson in this quarter. Caskey has not scored.
Well, they just had her double down on that out-of-bounds play. Like, she's got possession. They've got to go to her in that instance.
Burzai misses, put back Caskey.
When she is chested up so that you can see her, you got to get her the ball.
Yeah.
It's difficult to handle her underneath.
4-point lead. Right now, Cathedral trying to hold on with 1:39 to go. This is Beasley. Boy, just keep moving the basketball.
Right.
Don't get trapped.
There's a foul.
And that'll be on Tregesser.
So is that number 4 on them then?
Yep, that's number
Okay.
4. Boy, you can run off a lot of time on that clock, can't you? When you,
You
think
really
about
can.
where they were a little bit ago.
Absolutely. And that's the reason I'm saying Chatard needs to be at 4 so that they can actually get the clock stopped.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
right. You're still at a 2-possession game right now. Boy, if you're Cathedral, you can't get that time off fast enough. The other way, the clock just keeps running as fast as it possibly can. Let's see who they're going to get here. It might be 23 Johnson.
And that should put them on the line then.
So there is number 5. It'll be 2 shots right here for Abby Beasley. Well, you talk about big free throws the other way, and before we even shoot right here, we're going to get a timeout by Bishop Chatard. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Looks like Beasley is right at 50% from the free throw line. And so
you kind of hold your breath here, right?
I'll tell you. It's you just as a team, you would like to be a really good free throw percentage for a girls team is probably 70.
Yeah.
Give or take. You under that, it's not too bad if you're about 65 or above. Once you get down to that 60 into the 50s, it becomes, as a team, you're looking and saying, well, we can put them on the line and probably not get hurt too badly.
In other words, it becomes a little more painful.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, though, Bishop Chatard will look at this game and wonder 11 missed free throws. I mean, even if you hit, 7, you're up by 3.
Well, and at least in this instance, if it ends up the way it is right now, you can point to why.
Yeah.
And maybe you can work on it and somehow become much better at the line. But as I said, you're by halfway through the year, you're what your record says.
Yeah. So Beasley, her first trip to the line. She had a big three a couple of moments ago. Now has a chance to lead the team in scoring here in the fourth quarter. Missed the second, but then they get the offensive rebound. That's Wilson.
Yeah. Chatard had a good opportunity there and just didn't get the rebound.
Tragasser will pick up the foul. I believe it's number 4 on her. No, they're going to say number 3 on Tragasser.
Okay. Well, if she hits both of these, now you're at a 3-possession game. And it's, you come down and run 15 seconds off every possession before you put them on the line. Missed it.
Wow.
That one was easy to call.
By the way, if anybody that's watching, don't use this as a tutorial for free throw shooting tonight. It's been rough.
It's been tough. And sometimes when you come off of a Christmas break, and even if you've been playing, you've still had a lot of parties and get-togethers, and so mentally it's hard to make the transition, I think.
Drive and the miss, rebound. Caskey has it stripped out of her hands, and then
are they going to count
that?
that?
Good, I think they're going to. That's going to be.
Well, they are counting it.
Nope, take that back. That's Burzai.
And they counted to the basket. All right, now she hits this. Now you're down to 1 possession, period. Yeah. Now you feel good about potentially putting Cathedral on the line. Get a split. And right now you can really spread this game out. That 59 seconds may take 10 minutes.
It's good. Oh, and another miss. That is now 12 free throws missed by Bishop Chatard. But still a 1-possession game. How will Cathedral handle this?
Well, I would have it in Wilson's hands. She's one of the better free throw shooters. Okay.
Got an injured player. That is Burzai, who went down. She was ready to come double. That's what happened right there.
And they, if Cathedral had the ball going towards a hoop, they wouldn't have stopped it. But with them holding it out here, then nothing was happening action-wise.
Well, and plus safety of that player on the floor.
Absolutely.
With everything going on this half, you have to.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, another stoppage of play right here by Coach Finn and Cathedral.
I don't think the Chatard coach came out, did he?
I am not sure. Well, we're not even sure if this is a 30
I think
or a
he's
40.
telling him that she's got to come out of the game.
Okay. And she will, as you see Mason coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
It is a full timeout on this one. Cathedral trying to win game number 6 on the year. On the other side, Bishop Chatard trying to win their 10th game. And what we thought maybe moments ago, it was Cathedral really in charge and chance to really win this game. Then all of a sudden now Chatard back in. But it's kind of been that theme all night long.
Absolutely. I mean, this game has never really spread out at all.
Yeah.
Chatard played a really good third quarter. And so that really got them. I mean, they were up by 6 at one time, 5 at one time.
Yep.
And that's after being down by 5 or 6 in the first half. So, I mean, they played a nice third quarter. Fourth quarter has kind of belonged to Cathedral.
Yeah.
So, again, these rivals, they know each other. These girls know each other. Shoot, they may have gone to some of the same elementary schools together.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, Jada Wilson, 17 through 3 quarters, not scored in this fourth. You talk about Caskey, 17 through 3. She has only 2 in the fourth, so this has really been up to a lot of different players coming up here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how many points have been scored this quarter, but I don't think it's been a whole lot.
8 points by Cathedral, and on the other side, 7 points by Bishop Chatard.
And that tells you, with Wilson and Caskey not scoring, I mean, that's where their easy scoring comes from.
It certainly does.
Now, if I'm Cathedral, I've got the ball in Wilson's hand whenever I can have it because I like her from the free throw line.
Well, they're doubling Wilson, aren't they?
And they're going to get her.
They got her all right.
and she's going to the line now, and kind of smart on Chatard's part. If they're going to put her on the line, let's do it with the clock stop.
Exactly.
Used to be you couldn't get away with that. Now you can.
So here is Wilson at the line. By the way, she is 3 of 4 from the line tonight. You mentioned how she's probably their best free throw shooter.
And the form is there. The trajectory is there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just see that she can shoot the ball.
So Wilson, number 2.
That makes her what, 4 out of 5 then?
She's 4 out of 5.
That's 80%.
Yep, I'll take it.
Yeah, anytime.
18 points now by Wilson.
The key is 18 out of 39.
Yeah. Big difference right there for sure. Second free throw, perfect.
No rim on that. Okay, now, Chatard didn't have a whole lot of time to waste here now.
Good look here at Johnson. Double teamed underneath and a foul call, and I know you have all the Cathedral players looking around like, wait a minute, we had our hands straight up, but we're going to go to the line.
Well, we're going to see if she can. She really needs to hit at least one of these, and preferably two, because then you're only one possession down. And it's not out of the question for anybody to go 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
No.
For Cathedral or Chatard.
There's one.
Okay, so she hits this one. Now you are at that one possession.
12 missed free throws tonight for Bishop Chatard. One more here for Johnson. Second one.
Okay.
That's big.
Now you're going to try to get a steal.
The inbound, it'll go to Wilson, and then Wilson goes down, but we got a foul in the backcourt.
And again, if you have your choice, if you're Chatard, you really don't want Wilson to get the ball in her hands. You'll foul almost anybody else if you can.
Trageser picks up the foul. That'll be number 4 on her. And now Wilson at the line. Just hit 2, and by the way, she's hit her last 4.
She's a really good player. A really good player.
Chance to get to 20 right here. Oh.
Okay.
One more here. By the way, the boys' game after this one, I guarantee won't tip off at 7:30. We always schedule those at 6 and 7:30, but it never works out that way.
You know, back in the old days, it was 6:30 and 8. Okay, now we've got a possibility here now.
Chance to tie with a 3. In the corner, Johnson, short, rebound, put back, no, by Caskey, another put back. And we got to fight for the loose basketball, and jump ball should be Cathedral.
Yes.
Yep. Boy, and we talked about that a little bit ago, how big that could be.
Yep.
Timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it right here as Bishop Chatard will try to set up what they're going to do here with 16.3 to go.
Yeah, I mean, Caskey's had plenty of opportunities in this quarter.
Yeah.
And you can just see, you know, I mean, she's taken a beating, and which you're going to have happen in a high school basketball game in the post area.
Yeah.
It's teams just don't let you score.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to earn it, and you can. I think her legs are probably starting to be heavy.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah, she's had a couple of down there where, you know, she brings it up through the face. I'm sure she'd be in better shape. Sometimes they bring it outside and ends up shooting it over the basket.
Yeah, she. I mean, give her credit, man. I mean, she's had shots she probably should never have had just because of the hustle of getting the rebounds.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's one thing Bishop Chatard did a lot tonight, especially early. Those 50-50 balls, they were theirs. They were hustling all over the place.
Yes, they were.
There you see the Bishop Chatard student section. One thing they do at Bishop Chatard is they really come out and they support the other sports.
They really do. And you see it in a lot of the private schools in Indianapolis. When you walk in, you see all the successes.
Yeah.
Not only academically, athletically.
Yes.
The arts. I mean, they're just really strong programs.
Yeah. So now the baseball pass. Boy, I tell you what, that was dangerous, but somehow Cathedral comes up with it, and we got a foul call, and that will put Beasley at the line.
Well, here's what you're looking for if you're Cathedral. You're taking a ball out, and you're looking to see if Chatard has anybody deep at all. And if not, you're going along with it.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's why I never had to call that from the bench. If the kids looked, and if the defender was up on the ball, that means the deep was open.
Yeah.
And so that's what Cathedral saw then.
Well, that free throw may ice it right there. You're only 10.6, and now all of a sudden it's become a two-possession game.
Well, if does Chatard have any timeouts left? No timeouts. So even if they score, if it's below 5 seconds, if you're Cathedral, you don't even take the ball out.
Both free throws good by Beasley. 8 seconds remaining. Johnson, it'll be a 2-point shot attempt, missed, goes out of bounds. Last touch there by Caskey. So, Cathedral surviving this one here tonight on the road at Bishop Chatard. Bishop Chatard is a foul called there by Caskey. At this stage, probably don't need a foul right there.
Well, I guess you don't want to give in. But, yeah, with 2 seconds left, I'm not sure whether you've got time for two possessions or not.
By the way, Caskey will lead Bishop Chatard with 19, 8 points by Johnson. Free throw is good. You'll have 4 points by Burzai. That's she averages 12 and a half.
Exactly. And she got off to a really slow start.
Second free throw is missed. And on the other side, Cathedral led by Jada Wilson with 19 points. Taylor Lewis played pretty well for having foul trouble. She finished with 10, but in the fourth quarter is really Abby Beasley, who finished with 6 points in the quarter. But bottom line is Cathedral on the road picks up the win here tonight.
A good win by Cathedral, a good hard-fought game, and the type of game that will get you ready for sectional competition.
So with the win, Cathedral now 6-8. With the loss, Bishop Chatard, they fall to 9-5. Don't forget, doubleheader tonight. We have boys game coming up in just a few moments. Thanks to everybody for joining us here tonight. Your final score once again from Bishop Chatard, Cathedral 43, Bishop Chatard 37.
Just working with our company, you're going to get to work with a lot of bright individuals.
Everyone is open and ready to help you, and definitely big on advocating for making sure that you succeed and reach your potential.
Everyone's goal is the same, to make the best products that we can for our clients and make sure that it is everything and more that it could be.
What's kept me here? Our culture. We're genuinely a very great group of people. Everyone's just always willing to lend a hand.
When I have a suggestion or a concern and I voice it, leadership actually hears me.
As a consultancy, every person has a role and has something to bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there is just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Welcome back once again to Bishop Chatard. We just finished our girls' game moments ago. Now we're ready for the boys' game here tonight as the Fighting Irish of Cathedral, ranked number 4 in 4A in the AP poll. They are 7-0 on the season. Bishop Chatard coming into tonight's contest. They're currently at 4-2. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. Building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And by the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Watch the best Division III basketball on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat. Troy Derengowski, Craig Cox with you here tonight for our boys' game here this evening. And I'll tell you what, this could be a dandy if, and I say if, Bishop Chatard can shoot the basketball from 3 tonight, which is, I know, a thing we'll talk about this evening. But, boy, they got a tough one tonight. Cathedral really playing good basketball.
No, they are. Obviously, Coach Delaney, just as he does each year, got his guys primed and ready to go. I think, obviously they have a few more games. Both these are two teams that come in with highly successful fall sport programs in terms of football. You got Chatard winning the state championship, Cathedral making a deep run as well. So a little bit more limited amount of games. Cathedral off to a great start at 7-0, and obviously Chatard, Coach Roseman, they're still trying to find a little bit what they do with a few less games with that coming off the state championship. But I'll tell you, anytime that these two schools get together, you can't really call them crosstown rivalries because they're only probably about 5 miles apart. But I'm not really concerned regardless of what sport it is, and tonight is basketball. But anytime these two programs get together, it's always a fight. The strong line traditionals, you got second, third, fourth generation kids that are playing here where their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents went to these respective schools.
Well, let's start with Cathedral, 7-0. They just come off a win over Carmel, 73-50. They have not really at this stage had very many games that are all that close. I know they had the North Central game, 71-56. But they've got 3 guys right now. You have Brady Kohler, Keaton Aldridge, and LeBron Goff, all double-digit scores, but it really starts with Brady Kohler, the 6'7 junior.
It does. I mean, this is in some ways you can call it, a 3-headed monster, but I don't want us to forget about Derek Canada. I mean, he's 1-2 that can score in different ways. But, the bright spot out of these, as much as, the stat lines will jump off of you, certainly with Kohler, but the bright spot for this team, I think, has been Keaton Aldridge. I mean, this is a kid that's a sophomore, really showed a lot of promise last year as a freshman, coming in averaging 16 a game as a sophomore on arguably, one of the better programs in the state over the last 5-10 years. But, yeah, it's not to be overshadowed by any means by Brady, but he's got some support. I think if you're a coach and Coach Delaney, anytime that you can find balance within your program, it really becomes hard for your opponent to prep for.
Yeah.
Because it's more than one, it's more than 2. You got 3 or 4 head monsters that can really get after it. And so it's really a good situation for Coach Delaney to be in.
Yeah, and you mentioned, if I may, Aldridge also 8 rebounds per game, leads the team in rebounding, so that's big for them as well.
No, it is. I mean, he comes with some good size. I mean, again, he's a 15, 16-year-old kid that, is 6'3", so he's chances are he's going to grow, and for Coach Delaney to have somebody like him around for a few more years. And the other thing is the 3 other leading scorers are juniors as well. So they're sitting well, and Coach Delaney's no stranger to success. I mean, this is his 20th year. He's, approaching not this year, but next year his 500th game that he'll coach. He's, in kind of rare air that he's not, there's a lot of coaches that have won multiple state championships, but he's done it 3 times, and he's done it at 3 different schools.
Wow.
Waldron, Tech, and Cathedral. And so what a great, stat line, to have in your resume that Coach Delaney does.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Trojans of Bishop Chatard, again coming at 4-2. We'll talk about them next right here on IndianaSRN.
Make it to the game? we've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Well, as Coach had mentioned a little bit ago, this is a Bishop Chatard team along with Cathedral, but especially Bishop Chatard getting off to a slow start simply because of football, but they're used to it by now. And Coach Roseman knows that every year you got to wait maybe a little bit to get your first game underneath your belt, but they're now 4-2. Fresh off that loss to Greenfield Central 66-49, but it all kind of surrounds around Ethan Roseman. Guys averaging about 20 points per game. If they get him going, they feel pretty good about what they can do on offense.
No, there's no question about that. And, Coach Roseman doesn't have to look too far beyond his own address to find out where a lot of what's coming from, and that's at the dinner table with his son, Ethan. He went through it before with his older one that graduated, and Ethan just a sophomore. This is a kid that, is really a dynamic a guard in the area, in the metro area. And, he's one that can not only he's really good with the mid-range and the dribble drive pull-ups. He's great with his size. He's undersized, but he plays bigger than he is, and he's got a great ability to play through contact, and that's what you love. And then, he's got great support in Cash Moore. One interesting thing is, the Cash is a unique name, but tonight we have a player on each team named Cash. Cash Daniels on Cathedral and Cash Moore. So great basketball names for us to call. But he's coming in at a 12-point score. I think the thing that Coach Roseman, the season is still very young in terms of them with less games than most of their opponents, but really trying to still feel out the personnel. Yeah. But what both Cash and certainly Ethan needs is a little bit more support to where they're not so heavily relied on, because teams can key in on that.
And they don't have a ton of size either. That's one thing you'll notice when they're coming in tonight. You're going to play a team that has some size. How did they offset that this evening?
Well, I think a lot of it is, when you start to talk about, trying to have an undersized team play bigger, it starts with the perimeter defense. It's where you got to really shut down the dribble drives, the penetrations. You got to be able to defend the ball screen pretty well. Coach Delaney has usually been pretty effective on that in the past. But I think if you can cut out the high percentage shots on your opponent, that certainly can be a great deterrent for that. But you'll look for a lot of double downs, I'm sure, as well.
Now, I mentioned a little bit ago, the one thing you look at, and I've had Bishop Chatard this year, is they just don't shoot the ball well from three-point range. They're coming in at 21%. They've got to find a way to hit that outside shot. Otherwise, other teams are going to kind of pack it in on them.
Well, it's a great point, Troy, and it is. You hit the nail right on the head. That is an area that they have struggled a bit. Some of that could be just early season kind of working out the game pieces of that. But I think the other side of that is the looks that they're getting. Yeah. They got to be able to get more of getting down in the gut, really forcing the next line of defense to help pinch to where you're forcing two to guard you, and then getting more kicks to where you have more open looks.
We are going to go, I believe, to our public address announcer here in a couple of moments. So we're going to kind of see how they go through this here early. Again, they had the girls' game a little bit ago. It finished about 20 minutes ago, so we kind of have to wait and see what the format will be in our second contest here before we move along here this evening. Cathedral, by the way, they're scoring a lot of points this year. They're at 76.4 points per game. That is really big. You look at Bishop Chatard, they are at 58.5. Let's go to our public address announcer for the starting lineups.
And now the starting lineup.
Starting lineups for both teams here tonight. Coach, what do you think keys to this one will be this evening? You mentioned a little bit ago, size-wise, the biggest player right now, 6'2" for Bishop Chatard, so that's one area of concern going in.
No, it is. I mean, one is that you got to try to, have your defense play from the inside out, force the outside shot. Cathedral's a pretty good shooting team, but you got to try to pick the poisons of what you might be able to have success with here tonight.
All right, it'll be Kaler jumping it up in the middle, and Brady averaging 20.7 points on the season. He is 6'7", and he, of course, jumping it up against Sam Feeney. Feeney at about 6'2", and it will be Cathedral basketball to begin this one here in our girl and boy doubleheader on IndianaSRN.
Well, you talk about Sam Feeney as well, coming off the state championship with football. As Keaton Aldridge gets Cathedral here on the board. He'll be taking his Towns football field next year up to Ball State.
Kaler, by the way, was starting at the point right there, but that was a great pass to Aldridge to get his first 2 of the ball game. And so now Bishop Chatard with the basketball, Cash Moore. By the way, the last time we did a Bishop Chatard game, their starting lineup looked a little bit different than it does here tonight. Fadeaway jumper is no good, as you see. The big fella inside. Anytime you think about Sam Feeney, and you mention him, but just big and strong. But Bishop Chatard getting called for the foul on that one.
Well, you see, too, just on your screen here, you'll be able to see just anytime these teams get together, there's certainly a little bit of hard time trying to be able to find a seat in either of these gyms for these respective schools when they get together.
Kaler's going to be fouled on that one. They will get Draylon Vaden on the foul. Now, Vaden did not start the last game. I did, and neither did the other player I was looking for. As you see, the shot in the corner is on the way and good. That'll be LeBron Goff getting his first bucket of the night. It's 4-0.
Yeah, great look there. Dribbling on, pulling up, being able to just eye it and let it go, and had great confidence in that and knock it down.
The other player I was going to mention was Chris Hill did not start in the last game that I did as well. Double team out front. Ball is loose. Turnover. Cathedral on the attack the other way. Basket good by Aldridge.
Well, and that's their ability, too, to be able to take care of the ball. I mean, you're going to certainly with a Coach Delaney team, you're going to have and see a lot of ball pressure. So it's one that you got to stay composed. You got to be in a position where you are just protecting the ball, having good ball security, and not creating good open transition for the Irish.
Fouls on Canady. Here's a shot in the corner. That's going to be an air ball, but Feeney able to get the offensive rebound off the shot by Vaden. This is Roseman. Roseman now sporting a little headband this time. Roseman from 15 in and out. Ball tipped there by Kaler. It'll be Fighting Irish trying to build on a 6-0 lead. Another strong drive basket good, and tell you what, Aldridge off to a fast start with 6.
Well, again, we talked about in the opening segment how he's just a really bright spot, very athletic, likes the tempo, likes the open court, and as Cash Moore comes up long on his 3 as well. But you can see the pace that Cathedral's trying to get you in, and their bigs are just running the floor as well as Hughes gets in the scoring column as well.
A 10-0 run. Take a look at 5:37 remaining. Looks like it'll be a 30-second timeout by Bishop Chatard. We're going to see a change here. Colin Guy will come in. Want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Their mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Thanks to our officials, because without them, we don't play. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. If you're Cathedral, you could not ask for a better start.
No, you can't. And some of this, though, is being ushered in by Chatard. They've had actually 3 shots. 2 of them have been threes, and the other one was a pull-up in the keyhole from about 17 from Roseman. And anytime you're getting longer shots, sometimes they'll constitute longer rebounds, can kind of get you in your transition a little quicker. Kind of seeing a diamond 1 press here half court.
Yeah, and how about Aldridge on top of that, huh? Those long arms. He was Colin Guy. Floater in the lane off the glass. Good.
And Colin's one of those guys coming off the football state championship as well. Set a state record this year in the state championship with 3 interceptions in the title game.
So it's an 8-point lead. Fighting Irish back on the attack once again. Here is the shot from 3, no good by Kaler, and we have a foul, or do we have a jump ball? It's going to be a jump ball instead. So to go over to Bishop Chatard.
Oh, good look there, excuse me, by Kohler, their leading scorer. Nice looking jump shot. Ball was down and back out, but trying to get some great balance. A lot of it has been through the transition game, though, here early for the Irish.
Vaden, Hill, near sideline. Kaler giving chase. Here's your double team, and it's going to stay here. And a little bit of extracurricular activity between Hill and Kaler there on the sideline.
And they're just in a position, too, where the defensive pressure is just creating a little bit of havoc for the Trojans early on. So their ability to withstand the pressure that the Irish are putting on them is certainly going to be key to allow them to get into some just rhythm offensively.
Kaler at 6'7", guarding Hill out on the perimeter.
And it's not, Troy, it's not just even the 6'7", but the wingspan on this young man, too, is even more to deal with.
Cathedral able to hold on to the basketball. Nice pass inside, stripped away. Kaler with the offensive rebound, or I should say the reverse off the strip. He has his first 2.
Well, in situations like this, too, where your opponent just gets out on you so quick, you got to stay composed. You got to stay within the game, not try to press too much to try to get it back too quick. Stay within your offense, play the percentage shots. Getting another turnover here is Aldridge getting the active hands.
Third turnover now by Bishop Chatard. Lead pass and a foul called there on number 2, Colin Guy. We will see a change here for Bishop Chatard. Coming into the lineup will be DeJuan Rudolph, averaging 6 per game.
They see quite a bit of rotations early on. Coach Roseman trying to find, his unit that can kind of come together and play, and trying to insert different looks for him as they can hope to shrink some of this early deficit.
Aldridge, the double team. Kaler, left-hand shot on the way, good. He has 4.
Nice looking shot. There's always something about a lefty shooter.
In
right?
there? It's not fair, though. They always look so smooth.
Yeah, even on the misses.
Colin Guy, Hill, baseline floater missed. Aldridge with the rebound. He is athletic. Cathedral wasting no time getting down the floor. The no-look pass turnover.
Well, and those are types of things that can get comfort. It'll drive a coach a little crazy when you get a big lead and you try to start getting a little lackadaisical. You got a 3 look here. But Roseman, again, what he does so well with his size in rebounding as well.
Aldridge, lead pass from Kaler. A lot of contact on that, no whistle. Back to Kaler inside. Basket good, and he's fouled. He has 6 quick points here in the first.
Well, here's the thing, too, with Cathedral. We talked a little bit ago about just the tempo that they've shown and that they have the ability to do night in and night out. But the thing with your transition is they're bigs, and even though they're lean, but they're running the floor as well. When you can get 2 and 3 out in transition ahead of the ball, it just does wonders. It's very, very important. You got some of those rim runners, and they got great length here that have really attributed to a great quick start for them.
Free throw missed there by Kaler, and Aiden Hughes the last to touch it. So back over now to Bishop Chatard, down by 14 already in this opening quarter. Colin Guy, the only one to score so far. Cash Moore. Now we'll find Roseman. Inside shot of the way, good. That'll be Derek Fisher getting his first 2. He has come into the lineup for the first time tonight, back to a 12-point lead. Kaler on the drive, smooth inside, missed it. Battle for the rebound. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Chatard. Backdoor cut, Roseman, and he's going to be undercut, block, foul, and looks like the basket is good.
Oh, that's what they need there with Roseman. He's really good attacking the basket. We've talked about before, really plays bigger than he is. He likes attacking the basket. He also really works the area of what is kind of a lost art in today's game, and that is the mid-range game as well. But he does attack the basket well, plays well through contact, as you see right here, and an opportunity to convert the three-point play.
Free throw is going to be missed. By the way, Sheldon Gatlin coming in now for Cathedral. 6.9 points, 8 rebounds per game. 3 in the corners missed. 2 Chatard players collide. Colin Guy on the run the other way, missed the shot. Here come the Fighting Irish. They waste no time. Shot inside, no, and will go to the line.
I don't know if basketball's a new spring sport because it looks like track and field out here, doesn't it? I mean, these guys are going up and down with pace, and it's obviously been more so of Cathedral, but Chatard has shown their signs of it as well. But the pace is ultra quick, and certainly one that does play in the favor of Cathedral.
Gatlin, by the way, coming off the bench at 6.9 points, 8 rebounds per game. Not bad numbers coming off the bench. Harrison Forrestal is in the lineup. That last foul was on DeJuan Rudolph of Bishop Chatard. And both free throws are good. Already 5 team fouls. Of course, that will reset after every quarter. 18-6 your score. And we've got a foul call on Fisher.
Well, it's just so key. I mean, and a lot of times you'll run into that and not having patience and really setting and anchoring yourself up and trying to move. You know, here's going to be a big key, too, for Chatard as this game continues to progress is what Cathedral's shown, and as is the ball pressure. What's going to be so important for Cathedral is for them to have good spacing to where they don't have that help so close to be able to double up. So spacing will be key to them tonight with this pressure.
90 seconds remaining in the quarter. Now you see that Bishop Chatard, little zone action here, forcing the turnover. That's number 2 now on Cathedral.
Yeah, and a really good move by Coach Roseman and his staff to go to that as we get Guy with a pull-up on a 3 as well.
He misses it. Forrestal gets his shot blocked. Irish quickly back the other way. Basket is good at the other end of the floor, and we'll go to the line. Anthony Fields with his first 2. Colin Guy, I believe, just picked up number 2.
Well, they're obviously showed the ability, too, to have good balance in the sharing of this, not only in transition, but also a little bit in the half-court game as they have 6 guys that are already in the scoring column.
Free throw is missed. All the way back in the lineup, Sam Feeney. Leading out 14. Roseman, the quick 3, missed it. And here come the Fighting Irish again. Boy, they are going to run tonight. You're exactly right. I think we might be thinking about a track meet here eventually.
Well, and I don't know. I mean, you never know. It might be like college and having media timeouts so these officials can get to blow too. These young guys can handle it. I'm just wondering, and I know 2 of these officials here in Chris Shields and Damon Williams, so they're in for a little bit of too bad they didn't have pedometers on tonight, right?
Aldridge misses. You know, the thing is, though, that's what media timeouts are for the officials, not really the media, right?
It is. It can be that. It needs some, too.
This is Hill. And we've got a traveling call, and speaking of one of the officials, that was Chris Shields, I believe, on the other side. 4th turnover now by Bishop Chatard. Cathedral deep in this bench as well, as that 3 is going to be missed. Gatlin can't get it to go. Here's a floater by Hill, missed it. And how about Feeney going in to get the offensive board?
Yeah, great job there by running the floor. Just trying to think of that, you know, Chatard's just really taking some quick shots. Even on the break, it was 1-on-3 and pull up. Even on the return, get an offensive carom and take a quick 3. And 3s aren't bad. Great move here by Aldridge. Misdirection, getting the spin move. He's now got 8 in the game.
Wow. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's certainly very talented and athletic and certainly got some good length to him as well.
End of 1, 22-6 Cathedral.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They offer a tradition of food just like Grandma used to make, but they have several menu items, and they come with a twist. The biscuits and gravy dish, the country ham dish, I know you like that, comes with creamy pimento cheese and jalapeno chili ham. Check them out Wednesday through Sunday, 317-760-1640.
I think Sunday breakfast is coming a little early.
On you.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Foul's going to be called there on LeBron Goff. That'll be his first. Third turnover now by Cathedral. By the way, Kaler back in now for the Fighting Irish. This is Roseman. He'll draw a lot of attention. Roseman can't get it to go. Well, I tell you, Aldridge, I love this kid already.
He's very active. He's always around the ball, always looking for attack. The thing Brett's probably got to do in transition is just try to look to be a little bit more under control. But again, just a really, really solid player. And it must be the shoes. You know, he's wearing two different ones. He's already out the gate with 10 points.
By the way, LeBron Goff got the assist on that one. Just a great pass. Very unselfish team right now for Cathedral.
They are, and that's a great point, Troy, that I wanted to bring up earlier and didn't, and that is they are a team that shares with almost 20 assists a game, which is really, really good level in terms of high school basketball, in terms of being able to share. But, you know, we talked about, too, they have three that are averages, 13, 16, 21, and then Derek Canada is averaging 9, so right at another double-figure scorer, as Roseman has a nice pass, but certainly Kaler found something to say about that.
The runner missed by Feeney, and we have a jump ball in this one. One thing that I might be wrong about this, but it looks like to me that Bishop Chatard a little bit faster on their shooting, because we've had a couple of block shots right here. It seems like they're going a little bit quicker than they want to play.
They are. I mean, when you get some of these offensive rebounds around the basket, I'm not as concerned about those. It's more of the, transitions, 3-on-0s, or as we talked about before, getting an offensive rebound and jacking up a three, or just taking quick ones at a point where when it's a result of that and you think about the threes, I'm never against the three, but it's what does those threes look like? Yeah. If it's one that can look like any point of our possession, then it's not a good one. Yeah. You got to get the second line, the help defense pinching, and then looking to get kicks with guys setting their feet, just more pick and pops. But haven't really seen a lot of that as of yet.
But Cathedral, they were out on the run right there moments ago before it went out of bounds. That'll be their fourth turnover.
The thing is, too, with Cathedral, we saw it early on. I mean, they're a team that usually takes care of the ball. They're ones that's averaging 9, 10 turnovers a game, which is very, very good at the high school level. But the pace that they've played, at least here today, sometimes that can usher you into some more turnovers by the speed. Yeah. But they've really taken good care of it here early in the game.
Kennedy is back in. Off-balance shot by Roseman. Another rebound by Feeney.
And this is opportunities, too, second chance points, that you get here that you got to try to come up with, because sometimes you have offensive rebounds just don't come in bunches. And so Feeney's done a great job by, I believe, getting about 3 offensive boards to this point. But you got to be able to convert some of those when you get extra opportunities.
That was a traveling call against Cathedral. It may have gotten Anthony Fields trying to get out on the fast break. Here's Roseman, and Roseman will go to the line. Fowler, they're going to say it's underneath. We'll wait and see. Going to go against Aldridge.
Yeah, it's got 2. That's the other thing, too, with Roseman. As much as we talked about playing through contact, but he's 1-2 that will get to the line. He's averaging about 8 or 9 free throws a game, which is phenomenal for any player on the floor, let alone your smallest one in Ethan Roseman. So, you kind of expect some of those things as he hits the first from a coach's son.
He now has 4. Lead at 16. Anthony Fields at the point against Hill.
Anytime you're against the zone, too, the high post is usually where you break this down in terms of getting exposure and getting gaps. If you're not getting that, you got to try to, get the ball shifted from side to side and just think about ball movement.
That'll be a 3-second call. 6 turnovers now by Cathedral. I'll tell you thing at Cathedral. The half court's fine, but they love to get them down the floor. They're more comfortable doing that, aren't they?
No, they are. And, I mean, but it was a great move, I think, by Coach Roseman to be able to go to that zone, providing they can be in a position to defend the middle of the floor.
In the corner, here's Moore for 3. He by 2 pair, and then you wear
one of each.
Can you do that at work, by the way? Is that?
I'm sure you can, depending on what your role is.
Shot missed inside. Roseman with the rebound. Here's Hill back the other way. 15-footer up and good. There's Cashmore. His first 2, he averages 12.
Well, and that's what they need. They need some other production from people beyond just Ethan Roseman.
Ball stripped out of the hands of Kaler, and I think they're going to call a foul instead. They will get Harrison Forrestal. Harrison is a tight end, so he's kind of used to doing that, see? So you should give him a little bit of a break right here. Coach Roseman wasn't happy with that call, was he?
Well, I mean, he's 1-2 trying to still establish some of the football season as it's early in their basketball season coming off with just 6 games under their belt. Most teams at this point have had 10 or 11, and even Cathedral's only got 7 or 8 with their run as well. But, again, shout out to the Bishop Chatard again for what I believe is their 17th. As we get a 3-point basket here coming in from Canada, getting on the board with a 3. But, yeah, I think it was their 17th state title in football.
Roseman, fadeaway shot, good.
Well, and that's his game. I mean, more of the dribble attack and stop pull up or attack in the basket in itself.
Nice drive there by Aldridge. Can't finish. Here come the Trojans. Back the other way. Roseman from 15. Cannot get the roll.
Well, and that would have given them something they hadn't had all game, and that is successive back-to-back stops as well as scores, but couldn't quite get it done there. But they've done some different things here defensively and trying to pick up the pace a bit. What they have done over this quarter is cut down on transitions.
By the way, Vaden picked up the foul. I believe that's number 2 on Vaden. And back into the lineup will be Derek Fisher. Good look at LeBron Goff, who will inbound the basketball. And we've got a foul call as Aldridge will go to the line for 2. Foul's going to go against Cashmore. You know, Aldridge just has such good quickness, too. No matter where he is on the floor. He's going to be a hard guard for anybody if you try to play him one-on-one.
He is. I mean, he's got good quickness. He's got a nose for the ball as well. He's looking to push without question.
Missed the second.
If there's one area, I mean, Cathedral shoots the ball well, but if there's one area statistically speaking, that's an area that they've struggled is at the line, shooting 62% as a team.
Kaler with the block. Into the lineup once again will be Sheldon Gatlin, and that'll give Aldridge a chance to get a blow here. By the way, for Cathedral, 22 points in the first quarter, only 6 so far here in the second. Quick release by Hill, short. Rebounded by Fields. Kaler, 3-pointer, up and misses. And the rebound by Hill. Here's Roseman. And he got it blocked again by Kaler. Gets it back, and it goes out of bounds. It'll go over to Cathedral. Coming up on 3 minutes.
They're even racing down the floor after a dead ball.
Yeah. No, to waste any time, do they? Fadeaway jumper on the baseline missed by Kennedy. Back the other way, Roseman, left hand no. Here come the Fighting Irish once again. 2-on-2 break and a missed shot by Gatlin. I think he thought about dunking it. Here's Cashmore. Hill once again running the point. Nice spin move. Hill driving, missing. Here come the Fighting Irish again. This time The layup is good. Gatlin didn't miss 2 in a row.
Yeah, great job. He runs the floor really well, both him and Kaler, putting themselves in, but they have the stride. They're long and lean, and certainly are looking to get out ahead of this ball and make themselves accessible for points.
Coming up on 2 minutes. Hill, the drive, bucket good. That's Fisher. He has 4. 16-point lead. In the corner, 3-pointers up and good.
Yeah, really good job of the ball movement. And what really bodes well there for the offense is the extra pass. The defense is expecting that first guy on the shot, on the kick out or pass to be able to shoot that, and it's the extra pass there that a lot of times sets these teams up for better looks.
Gatlin, by the way, 5 in the corners, 7 on the night. Here's a shot the other way, missed, as Fisher had a wide open look.
Well, and right now, Chatard, even though they continue to shoot the 3, they haven't hit one yet. This is where you really got to start working more the mid-range game, the higher percentage, and then work your way out. It can't be the opposite to where you start out and work back in, especially if they're not falling.
Hill has it partially blocked by Gatlin. Fighting Irish have numbers the other way, and that's going to be dunked at the other end of the floor by Anthony Fields. Lead is quickly ballooned to 21 here in the second quarter. This is Roseman. Roseman, 15-footer straightaway good.
And that's his game right there, as we talked about earlier. It's the pull-up, which I love that in a guard. Get them going downhill, retreating on their heels, and then stop and pull up. Mid-range game in a lot of ways, and even different levels, is really a lost art because the 3 ball is driving so much of that.
No-look pass here as Gatlin for 3 missed it. Roseman coming away with it. Roseman 1 to beat, has his shot blocked out of bounds by Fields with 12.8 to go.
Well, the great thing there with Fields is he didn't get too antsy. He was very patient, didn't try to go after it until he knew that Ethan was leaving his feet, and read that well and timed the block.
Looks like Bishop Chatard will play for 1 to finish out this first half. Pretty much a sellout crowd here tonight. Roseman, no. Rebound by Kaler, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. Cathedral with the lead here at the half, 35-16, but right now Cathedral just showing why they're ranked number 4 in 4A.
No, they are. And the biggest part of what they've done and getting where they are is the P&P. It's the pressure and it's the pace. Early on, really provide a lot of pressure, which got them in transition really quick, but they have totally set the gauge for this first half in having this 19-point lead.
Had a 22-point first quarter, certainly didn't have the same in the second quarter, only 13 points. They did that without Kaler, by the way. Did not score in that second quarter, and they had other guys step up. Even Aldridge had 8 in the first quarter, only 3 in the second. But you got other points, and especially Gatlin, who came up with 5 points in that quarter. Good deep bench they can use here again tonight.
It is. I mean, Coach Roseman was running more people in, but I think there was more productivity that Coach Delaney had with 7 guys that are in the scoring column.
We'll come back. Our halftime report coming up in a few moments. Halftime score, Cathedral 35, Bishop Chatard 16.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school?
I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in desperate need. What began as a single ministry for women has now exploded into a multifaceted organization. It will serve thousands of men, women, and children every year. If you'd like to volunteer, give them a call at 317-686-6239. First half scoring, first off for Cathedral. Aldridge led all scores with 11. Kaler finished with 6, 2 points by Goff. Kennedy finished with 3, Fields with 4, Hughes with 2, and Gatlin off the bench with 7. For Bishop Chatard, they were led by Ethan Roseman with 8, 4 points by Derek Fisher. Cash Moore had 2, Colin Guy finishing with 2. As we said before, Coach, we went to the break that you're looking at a Cathedral team that if you thought about a complete package, I know they had 6 turnovers in the first half. I know that's one thing they'd certainly like to cut back on. Didn't have as consistent scoring in the second quarter. When you can score 22 in the first quarter, you can probably maybe take a little bit of time off in that second, but they're a complete basketball team.
Yeah, no, there's no question they are. And, you know, we talked enough about the balance that they have in terms of the scoring, but then the balance in the terms of not only the personnel, how they're getting it, but the schematics. Now, a lot of that has been driven by the transition, but even when Chatard went to this zone, worked some high-low action with Kaler as well as Aldridge inside, which gave him some more high-low passing, and then converted 2 threes out of it with kicks. So, you know, when you have some different looks schematically, it makes it a little bit tougher for the defense to be able to try to defend it.
On the other side, Bishop Chatard, again, Roseman had 8. Really playing well in the first half, but you talked about it early. They got to find some other support. Cashmore had 2. He averages 12. But really the size for Cathedral's kind of adjusted a lot of the shots that Bishop Chatard is trying to make in the first half, but also they, like you said, they kind of shot quickly sometimes too.
Well, they did, and I think the other thing is we talked about earlier is the spacing. I'd like to see better spacing with them. And then the thing that I didn't see hardly in the first half, and that is when you're getting this type of pressure, if you don't have the spacing, then get some ball screens.
Yeah.
Be in a position where it's the toughest thing in basketball to defend. So we need to see a little bit more of that. But I think that you're getting what you can see out of Roseman in terms of that. I think what people have to do off his penetration is get themselves accessible. As he starts to get downhill towards the gut with his penetration, those wings got to drop to the corners to stay ahead of his vision to be accessible for kickouts.
The other thing about the rebounding side of things, Cathedral, we don't keep official stats ourselves, but they had a really big advantage in that first half in the rebounding. But again, we talked about that too. Kaler at 6'7", you have Aldridge at 6'3", 6'4", and just a freak of an athlete. And then you bring Sheldon Gatlin off the bench at 6'7", guys that can also stretch the floor when it comes to shooting the basketball. So Bishop Chatard's going to find a way to limit possessions for Cathedral in that second half if they can.
Well, that, and I think when you're on the post, you pretty much almost got to play behind and be in a position where you're really doubling down these wings to try to sandwich more of the post players. But that really hasn't been much of the problem for Chatard's defense so far, is more of the post play. It's been more of the transition and then getting some of these threes out of the kickouts from that. I think offensively, you talked a little bit about Chatard getting quick quick shots, which is a great point. I think Feeney's done a good job by getting 3 offensive rebounds, and now 2 out of those 3. It was an immediate pass out and shot right away. So when you get these offensive rebounds and you get second chance opportunities, you really got to do your best to get in that 65 to 75% conversion on second chance opportunities.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in the field of construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. When you need a safe, dependable workforce for a new building, upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermaker Union Local 374 to do the job and do it right the first time. Second half action coming up in a moment, 35-16 here at the half.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Tonight's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Any use of audio, video without the expressed written permission of IndianaSRN and the IHSAA is strictly prohibited. Good news about tonight, Keith Myers isn't here, so we don't have to worry about all that. Because he kind of tries that NIL stuff on his own, even though nobody's really paying for his services, but he gets a little touchy about some of that stuff. Got to watch him.
Well, usually it's in the past few years, it's all been about food, and these advertisement and our sponsors always makes us hungry here in studio. But we can try to come up with something where we can find and sign him to some type of deal.
Well, I'm sure that his physique will tell you he's getting a deal already, I think. So he might have tried some of that creamy pimento cheese and jalapeno chili jam from Tam's Sweet and Savory and the extra mayo and pickles. Would you try it? Does that sound? I mean, I don't know. It probably is really good. Pimento cheese. You got to love that.
Yeah, I did as a kid. I haven't had it really much in my adult life. Speak about mayo. One of the most interesting things that I heard about mayonnaise was around the NFL draft when they were talking about Will Levis that puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Really?
And I'm like, I don't really think that's a very good mix. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never had a cup in my life. But my point is I don't think I would ever anticipate mayonnaise going in any drink. But nonetheless, it's it. We'll have to try that with Keith.
Yeah, well, Keith puts mayo on everything, I'm pretty sure. We're ready for the second half. Cathedral, again, with a 19-point lead. Want to remind everybody, check out IndianaSRN.org. You can see what games are coming up. We have a whole lot of games coming up in January and February, and before you know it, at the end of January, we just finished with our girls broadcast. We'll be thinking tournament time already, and that's going to happen really, really fast.
You got about four and a half weeks, and you'll have the draw for the sectionals on the girls' side. And we're about 7 weeks away from the boys' side. So it does move fast and quick, and it's always an exciting time. And we'll be coming up here in about a week or so with the City Alliance games on the girls' sides, followed by the boys the following week that we'll bring to your homes and to your ears on the road or where you might be watching or listening.
All of it will be absolutely free here on IndianaSRN.org. Cathedral basketball to begin the quarter. Good ball movement. Wide open shot at the top is going to be missed by Goff, but an offensive rebound, another possession.
Yeah, really great job of shifting the floor, getting in the short corner, getting the kick out, really moving the defense, which is what you want from an offensive perspective.
Great move there by Kaler, but a terrible shot. One thing about Kaler, though, is that, boy, he needs to put a little weight on that body, doesn't he? I mean, he's going to be tough when he gets some few pounds put on his body.
Yeah, he's one that, is tall but very lean. And certainly, he's 1-2. He's the lefty, leading scorer, so he can stretch you, which is a lot of what your bigs do nowadays anyways. And he's pretty agile on his feet as well. But, yeah, if he can add the weight and put something on the low post game, would certainly be a huge advantage for him and what he brings to this Irish program.
Well, they left Feeney wide open there in the corner. He passed up a possible three. Probably not his shot right there. As a foul called on LeBron Goff. Well, you see the big crowd here tonight. In fact, pretty much nowhere to go as far as the seat goes.
Well, and these two programs, too, they're never short of any spirit, and that's not just the student section. That's across the board. And certainly a shout-out to the student section. They took home the zone banner from the fall season with football from Wish TV and Anthony Calhoun. Get a basket here by Cathedral.
Yeah, Hughes got that bucket. By the way, Roseman, you could see his jersey get dragged behind him at the other end of the floor as we got a foul call. But Roseman's kind of like, what I got to do to get a call there? You can see his jersey coming away from his body.
Yeah, and that's how the first foul was called, but it happened again on that possession.
Here is Vaden. This is a Bishop Chatard team, as we mentioned, 65% from the free throw line, 41% overall, but only 21% from three-point range. This is one area they really know they got to get better at. Both free throws missed, though, by Vaden. Cathedral wasting no time to get it to Aldridge. Turnover number 7. Here's Roseman at the other end, and he gets it to go. He has 10.
Well, you're seeing them getting out a little bit in transition here for their second time, getting their first point of the second half off of it, but trying to get a little bit of transition opportunities for them as well.
Cathedral basketball here with 5:41 to go in the second, and Cathedral's going to get a 30-second timeout right here.
Coach Delaney seeing something that he doesn't like, so certainly a good sign there by him taking that to try to get them back to how they not only started the game, but even how they played a lot through that first half. So probably good use of a timeout here.
Want to remind you, if you'd like to be a part of the IndianaSRN broadcast, we can help you unleash the power of passion. For IndianaSRN, you always have a front row seat. Contact us at sales@IndianaSRN.org. Discuss how we can customize a sponsorship package that aligns with your goals and maximizes your brand exposure. We are Central Indiana's sports leader. Their offense, speaking of Cathedral's, not been the same since that second quarter. I actually should say that first quarter.
No, well, and one of them, to the tribute to Chatard is they really cut out a lot of their transition. They kind of took some of the pace back and dialed it back a bit, which has certainly helped. But then the zone kind of neutralized a little bit of that midway through the second quarter, and then just have struggled a little bit more in turn of trying to find their way here in the third.
We'll be coming up on 3 minutes gone here in this third quarter, and so far each team with only 2 points. This is Colin Guy at the elbow. Gets the screen from Feeney. Roseman, the three, good.
Well, that's one that they need. You talked about earlier that they are, have struggled early on here in their early season in terms of shooting it beyond the arc. So when they can get those, certainly is a huge benefit for them, and certainly in a situation like tonight in trying to make up the big deficit.
Cathedral bringing Cash Daniels into the lineup. I believe that's first time we'll see Daniels here tonight. Well, everybody thought there was a timeout a little bit ago, but that wasn't the case. So we continue play here in the third.
Really good job of getting the ball high, which is what you want. Got a great move there by Aiden Hughes, getting more of some high-low action there and getting his first basket here of the second half as well.
He's at 6'3", and we've got a 5-second call on the inbound. It's only the 5th turnover now by Bishop Chatard. And now Cathedral inbound once again.
Good screen action here off of that for the inbounds. And this is what you want, too. If you can't get it, as we got a 3 here by Cathedral, shooting that up was Canada. But high post is just is a great way to neutralize the zone defense. And if you can't get it to your high post, have your high post man step out and get a ball screen on that and really play some more 2-on-1 on the smaller part of the court.
Ball knocked out of bounds. By the way, Kaler is out of the lineup now for Cathedral. They got a little bit of a different mix here in the third. Mentioned Daniels had come into the lineup. Cathedral still trying to get that offense rolling here in the second half. Nice feed dish inside. Yeah,
great interior passing there. Started off obviously by Cash Daniels into Aldridge, and then Aldridge hitting it down low for the basket.
Vade gets trapped in the backcourt. Here is Roseman forcing up the shot, missing, and the rebound pulled down by Kennedy. Kennedy for 3 at the top, missed it. And we got a rebounding foul. Colin Guy is there for the rebound. May have gotten, who's that, number 3, Cash Daniels.
Looks like coming back into the game, have Cash Moore and DeJuan Rudolph back into the game for the Trojans. And it looks like you're going to get Gatlin coming in. I couldn't quite see it.
Well, so far, Aiden Hughes, all 6 points for Cathedral here in the third.
Cathedral coming back out in the zone. 2-3, kind of playing just more of a matchup, get token pressure.
And there is Colin Guy for 3 at the top of the key.
Well, as much as they've struggled, didn't hit any in the first half, they've hit back-to-back possessions here with threes, and that can certainly help. But it only does if you're on the other end getting stops, and they obviously didn't. So great look and no-look pass at that. That's 3 consecutive baskets for Aiden Hughes, who now has 8 in the game, 6 in the second half.
Tell you what, that was a great pass. Ball nearly lost there by Rudolph. Rudolph, one dribble, gives it back out front to Colin Guy. Forrestall back to Rudolph. His shot's missed. And the rebound by Feeney. Low-scoring quarter. Here is Colin Guy. Got another one. He only averages 5. He had 2 at the half. He has 8 for the night. Zone defense has proven to be very beneficial here for Bishop Chatard in the third. The pass inside Aldridge, basket good, and he's fouled.
His ability to show and playing through contact there. Great job here by the sophomore trying to get through or convert the three-point play.
I think they got Sam Feeney on the foul, his second. And a good look here at Keaton Aldridge, the sophomore lefty, and the basket is good. He now has 14. So Kaler and Aldridge both left-handers. But Aiden Hughes has been the big point man here in the third for Cathedral. Colin Guy trying to find some room to dribble. Drives, feeds inside, intended for Forrestall, turnover.
Well, and the tough thing there is Aldridge coming down and looks like it's going to go off his leg. But on Colin Guy's piece there, great job of getting downhill on the penetration. But when you get that deep to the basket, your teammates are really expecting you to shoot.
Yeah.
You kind of get mid-post area. You got to continue to try to finish there. And I think his teammate was expecting that as well, because this is what happens. You're kind of giving up your shot and only giving what your teammate's going to get as well. It's different if you have 2 come at you and you got your teammate with it uncontested, but that wasn't the case and just kind of got them in a tough predicament there.
So Bishop Chatard basketball trailing in 46-27. This will be Colin Guy trying to keep the hot hand going but missing. Alberin Johnson in the lineup And the basket good. This time it'll be Gatlin. That just shows you again how unselfish Cathedral is. The foul on Fisher. Well, again, Cathedral showing just how deep they are. Alberin Johnson is a 6'5" junior. He wears number 10. And right when you thought maybe Cathedral was going to make a little run right there, it's back up to 22. Roseman gets that high screen. Here's Colin Guy. Gatlin on the guard. Guy may have gotten away with a shove right there, but they blocked his shot anyway. And then a steal by Roseman, and he scores.
Yeah, what a great heads-up play there by Ethan. Really kind of scouted that out, if you will, kind of playing as a rover, read that and just stepped in to be able to get that steal and bucket.
Cathedral unofficially now with 10 turnovers. Wide open shot missing off the front of the rim is Daniels, but then the putback good. Well, Aiden Hughes has had an excellent third quarter. Roseman on the drive, and they'll get him for the offensive foul.
Well, tough when you're leaving your feet. I mean, again, that's a big part of his game, but be in a position where you just got to be able to go up and come straight down and not float into that. But great job. I missed, actually, who stepped up into that, but great job there by being able to set his feet and willingness to give up his body for his team.
That will be the 8th turnover now by Bishop Chatard. Down to our final 27 seconds. Cathedral undoubtedly will play for one here. They're doing all this without Kaler scoring in the quarter. There's a floater. Good. Great shot there by Daniels.
Yeah, and great look, too. Great body. Willingness to, which I talked about earlier in terms of not over-penetrating, where you're a smaller guard and you're putting yourself in a position to over-penetrating and really lessening your percentage when you're among the bigs and just stopping and hitting the floater or the pull-up where it's more uncontested and increase the percentage.
Roseman can't get it to go, and that's going to do it for period number 3. Cathedral leads it 53-29.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. They're building better futures one story at a time, and they acknowledge the whole person and their individual story. They take great care to create an environment that is as inclusive as it is innovative and as meaningful as it is productive. For more information on the Morales Group, give them a call at 317-472-7600. Cathedral, after a slow start offensively, in that third quarter, ends up outscoring Bishop Chatard 18-13, which I was really surprised by that.
Yeah, it was a slow. I mean, both teams for about the first 2.5 minutes, we only had 4 points, 2 points for each team. And it is one that they really played well and picked it up quite a bit during the second half of that third.
So Colin Guy with the basketball now for Bishop Chatard, trailing at 53-29. Guy driving and off the glass good. How about Colin Guy?
Yeah, with the kiss, as referee would call it. Great job there. And then obviously Cathedral coming and getting out of the zone and coming back with a man as Chatard comes up with a steal here in transition.
Roseman
nice.
Down to Guy.
Yeah, great find there by Roseman. Could have had the pull up, but had the basket vision for Guy to be able to get the more uncontested and higher percentage.
Here's a three in the corner missed by Gatlin, and here come the Trojans again. Hill to Roseman, and Roseman goes to the line for two.
I like the fight. You know, it's not that the game was decided. All right, from a standpoint, there's a lot of basketball to play after that first quarter, even midway through the first quarter when Cathedral really got out quick with the transitions. But it's one that Chatard has not stopped fighting. And you love that in terms of Ethan knocking down this first free throw here. But they're still competing out there and still trying to find themselves. I mean, they lost two really strong players last year, Robert Covington and the big that they had. And so they're trying to establish a new identity with the personnel that they have. 17 now by Roseman. Nice pass inside. The kick out. Gatlin for three. Got it. Yeah, what a great possession. I love the in-out, really having the defense collapse. We talked about that earlier. The guys off the ball, setting your feet and being in a position to shoot. By the way, we haven't seen Kaler in a while. 6 at halftime. Didn't score in the third. Hasn't played here in the fourth. This is Hill. Now Roseman straight away gets the screen by Feeney. Bishop Chatard being very patient here in this offensive possession. Can't be too patient. You're down by 21. Need to get some points on the board quickly. Colin Guy having a pretty good night. In the lane, missed it. Aiden Hughes has played well tonight, got another rebound. Drive down the lane and missing the layup is Cash Daniels. Unable to bring that one in. Here's Colin Guy, three-pointer, no. Another rebound there by Hughes. Nice pass inside, and another miss on the floater there by Hughes. They get it back. Three on the way, rims in and out that time. Unable to get it is Gatlin. This is Roseman. Still not seeing much in terms of ball screens. They've spaced the ball well here. Feeney gets one here as we talk about it. But again, spacing has been good. The player movement, not so much. I'd like to see more off the ball movement to give more of the dribbler options and accessibility to his teammates. Alburn Johnson picks up the foul. Host of new players coming in both ways, including Aiden Ortega. That name sounds familiar, the starting quarterback for the football team. Though he got injured earlier in the year, Harrington played well, but then Ortega leads into a state title. Yeah, he did. Great job. Actually came into this year in leading the team after kind of waiting his turn and did bounce back really well as he has a great attack here. Johnson picked up his second quick foul as Ortega, instant offense here in the fourth, will go to the line for one. Ortega's like, why didn't you put me in earlier? Right. Yeah, in 3 seconds he's got a three-point play. Excellent production. Under 5 minutes remaining in this one. Cathedral trying to move to 8-0 on the year. And we've got a foul, but that's going to send Alburn Johnson to the line. Yeah, really good execution here late in the third and even half here in the fourth in terms of working the high-low action offensively. That time he came into Gatlin and kicking that down, or excuse me, came into Hughes and kicking that down low. But doing a really good job of ball movement and sharing the ball. So Alburn Johnson, the 6'5 junior, on the board here in the fourth. He misses the second, and the battle for the loose basketball, it'll be Bishop Chatard, but then they lose it on the turnover. Dude, who I like tonight, Aiden Hughes. Yeah, he went on a stretch there where he scored 6 consecutive points for his team, and he's been very active in terms of on the boards and really playing hard. And then he's been the giver of the high-low action 2 of the last 3 possessions that's resulted in baskets.
You know, we're going to have Chris Shields work on his mechanics a little bit. He was just flashing all kinds of stuff. I wasn't sure who he called that foul on. Ends up being Cash Moore. Nice pass underneath, and there is Aiden Hughes again.
He's got his 10th point, 8 of the second half.
Lead back to 21 as we come up on the halfway point here in the fourth.
There's what you don't want to do, and wise by Coach Roseman in taking that quick 30 timeout. He got himself in a position, he being Chris Hill, you want to always keep your dribble alive. You never want to be able to pick that up until you know you're ready to pass, shoot. He picked it up there and kind of was in no man's land. Allows the guy to the defender to step up and belly you up and makes it so much harder.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. It's a group of logistic professionals dedicated to working together to provide their clients with a complete logistic package. Their goal is to continue to ensure that we're in a position to exceed your business goals and objectives. So roll with us. Give them a call. Piper Logistics, 317-396-1023. So after the timeout, Ortega will inbound to Hill. Bishop Chatard losing. If they lose tonight, they'll fall to 4-3 on the year, and we mentioned Cathedral will move to 8-0. Great defense out front. This is Hill once again, guarded by Goff, who's back in. Hill down low, Forrestall blocked by the long arms of Albin Johnson.
I'll be in position too with the city tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. Certainly Cathedral and Attucks will be the clear favorites for the City Alliance Championship. And speaking of Attucks, today in the morning Hall of Fame upset Kokomo.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and so they're in the championship probably playing as we speak against Brownstown Central with Jack Venter.
Foul on Kennedy. That'll be his second. By the way, Venter didn't play earlier today, did he?
That I didn't know.
Yeah,
no.
He did not play. So he may not play in the championship game. Roseman now with 20 unofficially. Nice pass and the layup good by Aldridge. His first points in the fourth quarter.
Well, he still keeps doing it on both ends. You know, he's been great on the boards, more on the defensive end than the offense, but has done a great job in terms of transitioning, leading the breaks, getting ahead of the transition, playing through contact. Most of his has came inside, getting to the basket or even mid-range, but has really showed some great strengths to this team.
Aldridge once again reverses it. Good ball movement.
Yeah, wonderful ball movement there.
Hughes misses. Aldridge with another rebound. Nice pass inside.
Find.
Oh, my. Hughes, unfortunately, unable to catch it clean. He'll be called for the travel.
Yeah, I think he was maybe surprised as much as he wanted the ball, as much as he was open. Maybe didn't know that his teammate in Aldridge was going to find him, but he did, and caught maybe a little bit by surprise and didn't quite have the footwork ready. But nonetheless, we'll go to the other end defensively and see if Chatard can get a basket.
Still a 20-point lead with 3 to go. Here's Roseman. Short on that one, and it's saved from going out of bounds by Vaden. It'll stay right here. Ortega stays in the ball game. There is Roseman missing short again, but Colin Guy with a rebound. Cathedral trying to get the sweep here tonight. The girls team won, and the miss by Roseman, then able to put it back in.
Yeah, and what you don't find a lot of young players doing, and that is following your shot. So great job there, whether he knew it was short when he let it go or not, but great job of attacking the rim after the shot.
Cathedral attacking down low and the kick out. Again, they reverse it one more time, and the miss by Aldridge. And the ball will go out of bounds over to Bishop Chatard. Well, they're going to do this, Cathedral, without Kaler playing pretty much, I mean, he hasn't played a whole lot in the second half at all, has he?
No, he hasn't. I mean, whether it's just a coach's decision or if there was something that deemed that for him to sit, whether it was something that was bothering him, certainly wasn't foul trouble. But this is great signs for Cathedral to be able to not only do what they've done today, but to be able to sustain it and grow it without their leading scorer. So those are the types of development and maturation processes with your younger players as well, and they certainly have shown that tonight.
9 turnovers now by Bishop Chatard, the offensive foul by Vaden. You know, on the play like that with Vaden, I know you talk about it, I would love to see, if you recognize that defender right there, pull-up jumper.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a lot of that is reading the defense and then also knowing what best puts you in the best situation, not only for yourself and your team, but, you know, whether it's contested, uncontested, understanding the percentages. Great job there by the attack and read there by Goff and the dish.
Kennedy gets the 2. He has 5. Lead back to 20, under 90 seconds remaining. And a turnover again. That's number 10. And Kennedy will drive and get fouled, and he'll go to the line, and the foul should be on Roseman.
So looking ahead for Cathedral, they'll go on the road next Wednesday. They go up to the Regionary, going up to Hammond Knoll. And then Chatard has Beech Grove on Tuesday for next to their respective opponents.
Free throw missed. Into the lineup now for Bishop Chatard. They'll make another change. They go deep into their roster now. Second free throw here by Kennedy is good.
He's now got 6 on the night.
That's going to do it for LeBron Goff. He is done for the night. We mentioned Kaler did not play much, if anything, in the second half. Here's Colin Guy. Roseman, his shot's off the mark. Kennedy has it taken away by Guy. Guy a little up and under, missed the shot, and another rebound by Hughes. 61 seconds remaining in this one. Colin Guy picks up the foul, his 3rd. I know you're anxious to get home because of your fantasy football team, your Dallas Cowboys. Some of the players you have there doing well early.
I'll take it. Not too much of a Cowboys fan, but I'm pulling for him tonight. See how it might be able to help me.
Free throw is missed.
I'm more concerned about my Colts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can handle the business and see what can take place over the last week. Good thing is we got them both at home and got some guys coming back healthy, but hope that they bring. But I'll tell you, whether they make it or not, and we all want them to, but I certainly a shout out to Coach Steichen and his group. I think that what they've dealt with and losing the quarterback and just being where they're at, nobody I think expected them to be in this position. They've had a fairly easier schedule, if there is such a thing in pro sports.
Yeah.
But they've done what they've supposed to do, except for what we saw last week in Atlanta. That was a little hard.
Yeah, a little rough. So we head to the free throw line with 39.6. Emmett Hearn is listed at 6'1". If he's 6'1", I'm 6'11".
I was like, that has to be a misprint. But I love little fella getting in. Some action here. They're looking to get him shots too, which is what you want to do with some of these guys.
Colin Guy gets fouled on the rebound. I wish if I were 6'1", and they listed me at 6'1" in the program, and again, nothing against, I don't know how big he is, but I would love to be the other.
That.
Yeah. Here's Colin Guy at the line. Yeah, you mentioned that Chatard Beech Grove game. We'll be down there for that one. 1 of 2 for Guy.
Guy now has 11 in the game unofficially.
There's a foul out front.
He's going to get back to the line again.
That'll be, by the way, the first game I think I've done ever at Beech Grove.
Well, I must say, they have a beautiful. I mean, the gymnasium's nice, but the court is wonderful. That they redesigned that,
really?
And it. I think it was going blank with his name now. Is it Coach English that had passed away about 3 or 4 years ago, and they rededicated. They redid the floor, named it after him. But it's beautiful paint structure that they have, and I think it's actually a stain, but looks really, really good.
Well, that young man right there, if that is Emmett Hearn, he just
knocks them both down.
Yeah, he did. 17 seconds. No need to foul here as Guy tried to force it inside. I'm trying to get it to Feeney. I want Feeney to shoot the 3, but he won't do it.
Yeah, he hasn't been looking to shoot all night. As soon as he catches it, he's looking to pass.
Roseman is going to go to the line. Roseman, I have him for 22. 3.7 remaining, and this one will be in the books. So again, unofficially 23 for Roseman. Second one is good, so make it 24. So that's going to do it here tonight, and it all started early for Cathedral. They had a 22-6 lead in that opening period of play, and they go on to a 66-47 win here tonight. They're now 8-0, but an impressive win tonight for the Fighting Irish.
No, without question. I think, what they did from the outset and getting out the gate as they did, it was just too much for Chatard to overcome by getting down by so much so quickly. But they'll continue to find their way. Coach Roseman will continue to find his rotations, and again, we'll have that game for you next Tuesday as Chatard heads down to the south side to play Beech Grove.
All right, that will do it for tonight. Thanks to the entire crew and another amazing job by everybody here at IndianaSRN. Thank you for joining us as well. Cathedral picks up the win, 66-47. Happy New Year, everyone.